field. Let's hear it for your teachers, Husky Nation, and your Husky football team!
Welcome to Lakeview High School for some Lakeview football under the Friday night lights of Richard Black Stadium. It's homecoming night, and tonight your Lakeview Huskies take on the Lancers of Lakeview. The Lancers of Lands Crews in a homecoming night battle. Mac White battle. Huskies come in at 4-1. Lancers come in at 2-3. This is going to be an epic matchup. Great weather. My name is Tony Savali. And tonight in the booth with me, got somewhat of a Lakeview legend, former Lakeview educator, former assistant coach on the football team under Coach 3. Now he works for that district to the north. Please join us here, Matt Baranka. Good to have you.
Hey, Tony. Happy to be here tonight. It's interesting to be up here in this capacity. It's fun to see some familiar faces during the parade down 11 Mile. And we bring it home here to the old football field. Former students, former players, current staff as they honored right before kickoff here, and it's really great to be here.
It's good, so good to have you. It's homecoming night, Matt. You've been around a lot of homecomings. Is there something special about? You've been around football for a long time. What's special about homecoming?
Oh, well, if you're playing, your coaches will tell you there's nothing special about it.
Okay, yeah.
It's just another game.
Sure.
Right? We find that a lot of kids get up and they get excited, and it's too much sometimes, right? So I guarantee you, in the locker room tonight, Coach Street has been very even keel, and he's been preaching no high highs and no low lows. It doesn't matter if we fumble. It doesn't matter if we throw a pick. But you know they're not throwing a pick tonight because they're not going to throw the ball.
You know they're probably going to stay true to their mantra and run that ball. And I talked to Coach Street before the game, and his key number one, as it always is control the line of scrimmage on both sides. So we're going to look for this Lakeview team to really control that line, play physical tonight. This is a Mac White matchup. Lakeview comes in at 4-1. Last time I was in the booth a few weeks back, it was week 2. Man, and Lakeview had a tough loss against Stevenson. They couldn't really get anything going. They then had to go and play Roseville, where they were the heavy underdog. And, man, they put some stuff together, and they won that game against Roseville. Coach was worried that after the big Roseville game, they'd have a letdown. They've been on the road the last 2 weeks, and they've played very well against a Utica team, a Henry Ford team. They come in a 4-1 record, and they're going up against the 2-3 Lands Crews Lancers, who lost to Utica last week, 37-0. Just for comparison's sake, Lakeview played Utica a little bit earlier in the year. A couple weeks ago, won 37-13. But you know what they say, Matt, can't take anything for granted. We might be the favorite tonight, but got to play football.
You must play the game, and we start tonight with the Huskies receiving the ball, and it's time.
There we go. Lands Crews kicking off from their 40. Back deep, Brandon Harris. This ball is going to be fielded by Lakeview. At the goal line, he's going to take it. Nice hit there by the Lance Crews player there. Number 7 for Lakeview. Ramon Myatt brings that out to the 20.
So, go ahead.
You've coached under Coach 3. What do you think he's going to do here? Come out and run the ball, right?
Coach 3 preaches that you got to go ahead and trust the process, right? So here comes the offense led by quarterback Gavin McKee.
Yeah.
He'll be under center 99% of the game, and they're going to control the ball.
Gavin McKee, a little bit of a scare this week, had an injury in a PE class, rolled his ankle, was a game-time decision. It's good to see him out there. 3 backs. Gavin Key hands the ball off to Brandon Harris. How about this Brandon Harris? There's just a couple yards there, but let me give you some stats here on Brandon Harris, number 26 for the Huskies. 77 carries on the year coming into tonight, 723 yards. That's an average of just under 10 yards per carry for about 144 a game, 10 touchdowns on the year. And we're not talking about small touchdowns. We're talking about this guy is a game breaker. We're glad to have him in our backfield. If he gets loose, Matt, watch this boy run, number 26.
I'm excited.
2nd down and 8. for the Huskies. McKee to Harris again. He's off the outside. Looks to cut it back up. Nice cut up the field. Stretch that out. Turned it up at the last minute.
Let's see where they mark this.
Looks like it's going to be just short of a first down.
Number 56.
So it's about 3rd and 2 here. And, Coach Street likes to go into the playbook and keep it between the tackles right here. They love to show a down block. They love to kick out and run right up inside of that kick out block. That is bread and butter, Lakeview Huskies.
This is exactly where Coach Street likes to be. 3rd and short. Playbook still open. He's not afraid to go for it on 4th down on any part of the field. McKee, 3rd down and 2. Ball's going to be run up the gut like you called. They're going to move those chains. Tucker Weddle. I was talking to Coach about Tucker Weddle. Hard runner. They got a couple big-time runners on this team. Thumpers, Aiden Daniels, Tucker Weddle.
First down and 10, Huskies.
They're the guys that are going to bruise. You don't want to tackle those guys. They're going to just wear and tear on you.
Ball is marked at the Husky 32.
I would compare them to the David Montgomerys of the Detroit Lions. How about that game last night, man, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You watch them. I'm watching the front 5 up front right now. That's who I'm watching.
There we go. Another handoff. Looks like Brandon Harris featured back for Lakeview.
Yes, Brendan Harris.
I asked Coach Street about the deception in the 3-back set. They're trying to set up plays for later. They like to run off tackle, then, little slip of the hand, and all of a sudden they'll set up a counter, a little bit of a reverse. McKee, even though he's on a bum foot, he'll carry the ball a few times, and you always got to be ready for those couple pass plays a game when you play Lakeview. That was a bobbled snap there, but it goes right to Aiden Daniels, who's able to make something out of something that was a little bit dangerous.
A lot of people look at an offense like this, Tony, and they say this is a really easy offense to stop. They don't really do a lot, and it's sneaky to think that. You must play assignment football all game long because, as you mentioned, Coach Street and his staff are watching for that one moment that you lose your assignment and they go ahead and hit you hard.
Yeah, they might not have a real extensive playbook. It might not be a 50-page playbook, but, man, what they run it well. It's tough to defend, and here we are again at 3rd and 4, trying to get the defense to jump. McKee under center. Going to hand that ball off to Tucker Weddle.
Tucker Weddle, the ball carrier for the Huskies.
See where the spot is.
One thing that I'm watching is after McKee hands off the ball, he continues a bootleg action afterwards. And I promise you, somebody's watching that guy, and that is his only assignment, is to ensure that they are watching Gavin when he rolls out there.
I was talking to Coach yesterday. He said he preaches, what are you doing when you don't have the ball in your hands? You got 3 backs. You got the quarterback, the 4th back. They all want to look like they have the ball, and you want to carry those fakes so that when you set them up for later. So I totally agree. You're echoing what Coach Reese said. That last play did move the chains. First down. McKee going to hand this ball off. Could that be Eric Simmons down there? Tough to see. Nice job by the Lancers there, kind of stacking up that right side.
One thing that they are doing, and it's interesting, is they literally have 11 guys in the box right now.
Oh, yeah.
Every single player there on defense is inside of the box trying to stop the run. And again, it's a double-edged sword. You're ready to stop the run. But it's very easy once a running back were to make it to the second level. It's hard to stop.
Yeah, especially if you get number 26 loose. Here we go. McKee keeping that ball. Don't let that ball go. We do got flags coming in everywhere.
Flags on the play.
McKee got hit on that play as well. The ball was overthrown, had some pressure in his face. We'll have to see what the flags are, but you don't see Lakeview pass a lot. Going into tonight, I believe Gavin McKee only had something like 20-some pass attempts.
Holding against the defense.
So you will see this a lot, Tony. It's holding against the defense, and this happens a lot because, as I just mentioned, 11 guys in the box, and as soon as Lakeview's able to get somebody past the first or second level,
sure,
they grab to try to catch up.
Had a couple penalties on that play. The holding. They also called a sideline warning on Land's Crews, so they're going to watch out for that. Land's Crews coaches are not happy over here.
Not sure who the get-back coach is down there, but they need to get one.
Yeah, they're talking about it.
If you don't know what a get-back coach is, I suggest you YouTube it.
I can make sense of it.
Some great videos.
Get back. Here we go. Here's that little counter play. That did not trick the Lancers. They were ready for that one. Everything was moving right. They tried to counter Harris, and he was tackled for a loss of 2.
I'm going to write that play down. They're going to come back to it soon. Gavin rolled out, and he had Tucker Weddle in front of him, and there was not a single Lancer in sight. So I think they're going to come back to that soon.
Those big boys up front for Lakeview. Lakeview, number 9, the tackle, David Osagetti. He's tight end, tackle Malik Mason, guard John Klein, center Kyle McCabe, right guard Jacob Snell, right tackle Bobby Clark, Aiden Daniels at the other tight end.
Man, tell me about Mason and Clark. These guys are gigantic.
Oh, man, I've been waiting for these guys to be seniors. They lost me. Daniels running hard. Took me a second to find the ball. Here he is.
Oh, no.
That ball was ripped out by number 6.
That's Donovan Ray. Just not giving up on the play. Continued to strip and punch and pull that ball out, and he ended up with a fumble recovery.
Aiden Daniels was breaking tackles. He was kind of held up. Referees were letting that play continue. Sometimes they'll blow that play dead. But as he was fighting for that extra half-yard, they continued to let it go. Number 6 came in and just ripped the ball right out of Aiden Daniels' hands. That's a huge play.
You love to see the running back continue to fight and continue to gain yards there and fight hard. However, at the same time, the defense is also trying to get the ball back.
It's one of Coach Threed's keys, the offensive keys. Take care of the ball. Keep it off the floor. Didn't hit the floor there, but turnover by Lakeview. Lance Cruz takes over inside Lakeview territory. Handoff to number 6. Donovan Ray.
We do have an important injury update on this side of the ball for the Huskies. Keontae Wolf is out this week, Tony. Rolled his ankle.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Keontae Wolf has had some big-time interceptions this year. Great in the secondary, great speed.
I believe we're going to see Carl Johnson most of the game in his place.
Carl Johnson, number 3 in the back in the secondary. Second down and about 7 for Lance Cruz. Trying to get Ramon Maya to jump. He gets back on side. They had a missed opportunity there. Using the clock here is Lance Cruz. We'll just sweep to the right. Lakeview drawing this play out. We're in and out of bounds by number 5, Gary Winston. Good pursuit.
So we're going to see an offense here that is completely different than what Lakeview runs. We're talking spread here. I would not anticipate seeing the quarterback here under the center for very much when it comes to Lance Cruz.
Quarterback for Lance Cruz, number 32, Timothy Kelsich, 10th grader. Seems to be a thing this year, at least when I'm in the booth. 10th grade quarterbacks. Gavin McKee, 10th grade. Number 32 here. Spread, 3rd down and 3 for Lance Cruz. Looking to the sideline and getting calls from their coaches. Back to passes, 32. He's looking up that right sideline. He's got a man. Oh, off the fingertips of number 1. Looking for Yamarian Cole.
Lattimore on the defense there, and I'll tell you what, he was step for step with them. There was nothing to worry about there.
Pretty good throw. You wonder if he didn't lay out for that one. Now you got your first big decision if you're Lance Cruz. Obviously, this isn't the NFL. This is not field goal territory, but they're going to go for it. It looks like 4th down and 3.
Always fun to see how a coach would draw this up.
Yeah.
It's not a gimme.
Yeah.
Not a gimme in varsity football.
Yeah. Number 1 for us, don't jump off sides. Don't jump off sides. Here we go, 4th down and 3. He's looking left swing. Bubble pass, so he bobbles it. That is number 2 again. And he's breaking tackles. There is a flag on the play.
Based on where the flag is, I got to think it's coming back.
Quincy Dorsey, based on that
maybe some sort of
rolling
look. There you go. It'll come back.
Lancers is going to bring it back.
Illegal formation. You wonder if a guy was left uncovered over there on that left side because that flag went up right away.
That's usually where you see it. Either not enough men on the line of scrimmage or sometimes you see a funky little motion action.
Yep. Well, that's going to change things. They did pick up a 1st down on that play. Back them up 5. It's now 4th and 8. They're now up, ready to punt.
Ramon Myatt back to receive for the Huskies.
Dylan Day to punt for the Lancers. Ramon Myatt back deep at his own 10-yard line. Good snap here. Oh, that ball's blocked. That ball's blocked. Number 9, David Ozaghetti. Long, lean athlete there. Got his fingertips on that big play. That ball's not going to go, but just a few yards, maybe about a 10-yard punt. David Ozaghetti, we were just talking about him, Matt.
Tony, I'll tell you what, he looked like a man amongst boys right there. First thing that they always teach on special teams is you got to step down on the offensive line there. You have to seal the inside because that's the quickest path there to block the ball. And Ozaghetti was able to move the line and get through. And man, he probably could have caught it if he wanted to.
Yeah, I've watched him all summer, and I mean he's a man amongst boys when he's in the hallways. He's a big fella. He's long. He's lean. He's fast.
I believe he has some colleges looking at him.
Yeah, he definitely does. Yeah, Wayne State is looking at him. Even some D1 schools. Lakeview back on offense, trying to get this running game going. Number 24, Eric Simmons gets his first handoff of the night.
Ball carrier for the Huskies.
Again, philosophically, you see Simmons get the ball here. Not much of a game. It doesn't shake anybody. It's okay. There's a lot of patience here, and there's a lot of repetition. Everything looks the same, but it's not actually the same.
Eric Simmons carried the ball for 261 yards this year. He does average about 8 yards a carry, so he's our second back usually. He has 3 touchdowns. Here we are behind the sticks here, 2nd down and 11. McKee rolling out to his right, has a man open. Number 24, that's Eric Simmons. He shakes a man. He's got the right sideline. He's going to cut back left, and he could go all the way. He's got a man in pursuit. They're not going to catch him. That's a touchdown for the Lakeview Huskies. McKee to Eric Simmons with that breakaway speed.
The best block out there was a no block by Anthony Aguilera. He held up. He didn't block anybody in the back, and Lakeview ends up with 6.
What a good catch and run. He made 2 guys miss in the open field, and I love what you said there. Yeah, you see high school guys, they see their teammate out in the open. They want to hit somebody. So often you see them hit somebody in the back. Not that time, and Eric Simmons took it to the house. Lakeview 6. Andrew Medvedik on for the extra point. The snap is good. The hold is down. And it's good. Andrew Medvedik, soccer player, pretty much automatic this year. That's going to make the game 7-0 Huskies over the Lancers right now. About just under 4 minutes to go in the first half. And, hey, man, you don't see that very often. I think that's definitely their longest pass for a touchdown. They hit a 40-yard pass against Roseville. They dinked and dunked a few times, but that was a big hitter. I mean, they score on the run game, but like we said to start this game, you got to be ready for that play action, 3-receiver look, three options, and McKee found the right guy, and Eric Simmons did the rest.
If you think about the chain of events there, right, they fumble the ball, and then they're able to get a stop. And Lance Cruz punts, and I mean, that's a great drive right there by those guys to put that together.
Absolutely. It's just like the Lions. Gosh, I love those Detroit Lions. Every once in a while, we beat the Packers last night. If you saw that Lions game, they had a turnover to start the game, and then the Lions came back and scored on their next possession.
If you're looking for a game to play at home tonight, get out the tally markers and put down a tally every time Tony talks about the Lions game.
This is going to be a little game. I'm a Husky fan. I'm a Lions fan. I love these home teams.
Yeah.
Number 61, Medvedik has his ball spotted at the 40. Speaking of, I love my hometown teams. He plays for the, I believe, the 12-1 soccer team. First place in the MAC Gold right now. Hey, they didn't do the onside kick there. They drove this ball to the 15-yard line. Got to contain this edge here. Number 8 running up the outside. Number 6 up the outside. He breaks a few tackles. He's going to go. Referee say he stayed in bounds. And he takes his ball up the sideline for a touchdown. Kind of crazy. It looked like he had no room, Matt.
He didn't have much. Whoever the end guy was on the line of scrimmage there for Lance Cruz set the block of the play. He will be congratulated by all of his team when they do film study. He set the edge. We lost contain, and down the sideline he went.
Waiting for one guy to shove him out. It just never happened, and he tiptoed, and then brought himself back inbounds and had some blockers up ahead. And man, if you're looking for an answer for Lance Cruz, that took 14 seconds. And pending the extra point, we're back to square. 33 on to kick this extra point. Snap is down. He drives that ball through. Dylan Day on the extra point. We're tied up at 7 as 3:42 to go.
As a Lance Cruz fan, I can't imagine the emotions you might be feeling after that drive there by the Huskies. And sure enough, on the very next play, special teams is still a third of the game, and that phase was won there for sure by Lance Cruz. Now, you mentioned it wasn't an onside kick. I got to ask you, is that something that is consistently part of the Huskies' game plan?
The Huskies are known to kick some onside kicks. They're known to kick them back to back. Even if the other team might know it's coming, they're known to kick them. So I would say if they kick the ball, 25% of the time they kick an onside kick. They decided to kick that ball deep. Sometimes Medvedik kicks that ball through the end zone. They kicked that ball a little short. Coverage was a little soft on the outside, and he was able to turn the Jets up.
You mentioned Medvedik's almost automatic kicking ability. He's only missed 2 extra points this year.
Yeah, and
that's exceptional,
especially
really
at the high school level. So the crowd was into it. It's homecoming night here at Lakeview. The crowd was hyped. That kind of took the sails out. We're going to have to put a drive back together. Harris and Maya deep for Lakeview. This ball is going to be taken by Harris, bobbled at the 2. He picks it up, looking for a block. Not going to get much. A little discombobulated there. The ball's going to get back out to about the 15-yard line.
Pretty physical game right now. These teams are here to bang. I'm impressed.
We knew this was going to be tough. Lance Cruz comes in at 2-3, 1-2 in the MAC White. Lakeview 4-1 overall, 3-0 record in the MAC White. Lakeview does, have their eyes set on a division championship. They're not looking ahead. They do have a very tough game next week.
That's a big one.
I talked to Coach Street about that. He did not want to talk about Grosse Pointe South. Yeah. His eyes were on this game. Lakeview starting from their own 15, trying to establish that run game through the middle. Not going anywhere there. I think that's the big player for Lance Cruz, number 75.
It sure is. I was actually talking to offensive coordinator Kedro from Lakeview right before the game, and he mentioned 75 as somebody that they would prefer to stay away from.
Yeah, Brandon Gordon, all-county defensive tackle.
That dude can plug the middle right there.
He's getting some looks as well, and they were talking about it. They might have to chip him, double him. They were going to see. They're going to keep an eye on him. And there he made a big play in the backfield, 2nd and 11. 3 backs. This ball's going off the right side.
If you watch Gordon, you'll notice he's usually lined up right in front of the center. And so the center not only has to try to block him, but he's got to snap the ball first to make sure that McKee ends up with it in his hands cleanly. That's a tough position to be in.
Yep. It's a tough situation for Lakeview, not known for their passing game, but Coach Threed and the offensive staff want to stay out of these 3rd and 8s.
They're not known for it. Like you said, they scored when it wasn't expected they would throw the ball.
Number 8 out wide for Lakeview. They're going to hand this ball off to Brandon Harris. Brandon Harris on the carry. Not able to break any tackles. A good pursuit into the backfield by the Lancers. Tackle for loss.
One thing that the Huskies will do is they pull their guards a lot. You do that, try to get more numbers on the side of the ball that you're running to. Even with a pulling guard there, they're still outnumbered on that side.
This is where you don't want to be deep in your own territory. Andrew Medvedik also is the punter for the team. He's standing basically just outside his own goal line. Need a good snap here. High school football. There's a high snap. I jinxed it.
And that goes out of the back against a safety.
Why did I say that? I don't think I've seen that all year. High school fundamentals. It's going to happen. You see that in high school football. That ball was snapped over Medvedic's head and went through the back of the end zone. That's a safety. It's going to make the game 9-7. Now they'll have to kick off from, I think, their own 20.
Turnovers like that are crucial in a game that's going to be a tight one. And so far, you're talking about Lance Cruz converting a kickoff into a touchdown. And now they get 2 free points and the ball back.
Yeah, it's been kind of an odd game. Lakeview with a long pass for a touchdown. Lance Cruz with a 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Now a safety. So a little bit out of the ordinary here. A lot of time left in this game. If you don't want to tense up over there. Lakeview has been ahead in most games this year, playing from behind a little bit, but there's so much game to be played here. I know Coach Street and the staff is going to try to calm these guys down. It's going to start with a defensive stop here.
It'll be interesting to see if Lance Cruz runs down the same sideline and try to set that same thing up again.
We'll see if they kick to number 6 here. For Lance Cruz, number 6 back. Donovan Ray ran the last one back for a touchdown. This ball is going to be driven through the middle of them. Nice
here
kick.
It comes.
Number 2, Quincy Dorsey. Ooh, he had a hole there. Great tackle by number 21 for Lakeview. Brady Pope. He caught a jumping Dorsey. It looked like if Dorsey could have broke that one tackle, he might have had some more room and maybe taken that one to the house. So kick coverage is something that I think Lakeview got to talk about here. That hasn't been an issue all year, but a touchdown, a long return there. Lakeview's going to need a stop. Going to call upon these big fellas up front, control the line of scrimmage. Lance Cruz tries to run this ball up the gut with number 6. Donovan Ray, stuffed by Lakeview. Some of these defensive line starters for Lakeview. At end, David Asaghetti. At the tackles, Connor Kubiak, John Klein. The other end, Kyle Gorman. 3 linebackers, Gary Winston, Ramon Myatt, Corey Pendleton. And in the secondary, we got Brady Popes, Terrell McCurdy, Corian Latimer, Carl Johnson. 2nd down and 9.
You know, we're talking about Wolf being out. He led the team in interceptions right now. Kind of when you talk about a game plan for the opposing team, that's something that they notice, and it'll be interesting to see if they throw to that side.
Timothy Kelsich, at quarterback, dancing in the backfield. He's making guys miss. Went back to pass. Good pursuit by several Lakeview players. Brought down by Asaghetti, by Winston,
Watkins
by Pendleton.
I can't help but kind of giggle when I see Devin Watkins out there wearing number 30.
Oh, man, big fella.
He's a big guy.
I had him as a freshman in my class. I had big Devin Watkins, big Malik Mason. An illegal shift here on Lance Cruz. I would decline this if I'm Coach 3. Let's see if we're able to decline this, and I'll get back to my comments about those big fellas. Looks like they are going to back them up here. I wonder if that's a penalty you can decline.
5-yard penalty.
I'll be honest, I don't think that you can.
I feel like that play should have been
I
called
feel
dead
like
right
they
away.
should have called it dead. I agree.
Because if
To bring up 2nd down and 14.
yeah, I feel like that play should have been called dead and never taken off like that, because we did hit a sack, so we're going to put a sack in the book for Corey Pendleton, but I guess that play gets taken back. And it's the end of 1 here at Lakeview. Lance Cruz with a surprising first quarter lead, 9-7 over the Huskies. Defensive guys are going to have to make a stop. I was talking about Devin Watkins, Malik Mason. I'm lucky enough to be a teacher here at Lakeview High School, and when I was a freshman teacher, man, we had some big fellas in there, and they looked at these 2 guys and said, man, these are your cornerstone offensive guards, your defensive tackles, and here they are, senior year, homecoming night.
Sorry, Tony. I just can't help it. When Mr. Selby gets going on his commercials there for Barbecue Daddy, I just get distracted.
Barbecue Daddy in the east end zone.
V's Barista over there on the west side.
I'm supposed to get a free meal tonight. I mean, if I get one, if my wife brings it up here, want to share?
Only if we feed each other fries.
They got the greatest macaroni and cheese, some pulled pork. Well, I'll have to text my wife. One meal, 2 forks, please.
That's right. It is homecoming night, and there's something special about homecoming when it comes to the community. You got food trucks. You got alumni back in town. It's fun to see everybody again.
There's not an empty seat in the bleachers. People standing east to west on the fence. Kelsich is going to keep this ball to start the second quarter. Gain of about 6 off the left side. It's going to bring up a long third down.
What they're doing is they're taking a guy like Azzaghetti and they're making him choose. You're either going to take the route towards the running back there up the middle, or you're going to go ahead and wait for the quarterback to come through, and they're basing their decision based off of him.
A couple options for the quarterback, yeah. This team has 31 seniors. Lance Cruz returning a lot of seniors, not returning their quarterback or their stud receiver from last year. But Kelsich, 10th grader, a third down and long, looking to pass, going to step up. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's dangerous.
And Kelsich back to pass. Number 58 for Lakeview in the backfield. Kyle Gorman looked like he was going to complete a sack. Kelsich ducked out of it, somehow lost his helmet. And that's going to be a personal foul penalty on number 56. That's going to move the ball 15 yards up. That's an unfortunate play, Matt.
Wow, I guess from here I just didn't see a face mask. I don't know if it's automatic if somebody loses their helmet during the play.
He hit him high. He ducked low. It looked like maybe he just wrapped his arms around his helmet. I didn't see a face mask either.
It just looked like football to me.
And unfortunately, his helmet went off. That play's going to die right there. But Lance Cruz, beneficiary of a close call there, first down. Now we're inside Lakeview territory at the 39. Sweep motion here to number 2. He's going to take this ball off the left side. Good pursuit. He's able to break 2 tackles and move the chains. Man, you don't see too many guys break the tackle like Gary Winston. Looks like we're going last couple tackles a little bit high on these guys.
You'll notice Winston used his arms on that tackle, right? It was more of a hug than it was a tackle. And if you keep your feet moving and are strong enough, you can end up with a run like that.
Missed a sack going high, missed a tackle there. Got to complete these plays here. That's another first down for Lance Cruz. Kelsich bringing his receiver number 1 off the line. Marion Cole, the receiver. Kelsich is going to keep this himself. Got some room. Carl Johnson will turn around. Number 23 is going to take him down, but not after a good gain for Lance Cruz. Sorry.
Again, you'll just see it. Their coaches up here in the box are. I can't hear them, but I can hear them, and they're saying we got Azzaghetti coming hard up the field.
Yeah.
And sure enough, keep it in the quarterback's hands and replace where he was on the field.
Second down and 1. Lakeview's got to come up with a stop here. Trying to hold this team to maybe a field goal attempt. Or maybe a turnover. I called the last one. They're going to power this ball right through the middle. That's going to move the chains. Late flag. Lakeview guys are clapping. You see a lot of this in high school football, Matt.
There's a lot right after the play.
Post-play penalties.
Yeah. The guys are fired up. As you mentioned, it's a homecoming atmosphere. Everybody's riding high right now.
Trash talk, a little bit of trash talk. Somebody shoves a little bit.
With how fast that flag came out, it was more than trash talk. They might have said something about somebody's mom.
So it's one of those no words. It doesn't fly here in high school. I'm not even sure what that call is, I'll be honest.
Ball goes against the Lancers. Going to back them up.
I have no clue. I thought it must be a personal foul.
Ball is back to the 20.
I'm not sure what the call is, but it's going to back them up. It's got to be a personal foul.
We have another flag. Oh, no.
The arm signal kind of threw me for a loop there. Regardless, it's a penalty against Lance Cruz. Going to back him up. Looks like we might have a man down.
Let's talk about Damian Quarles.
Trainer Damien?
Yeah.
Trainer Damien, he's a fan favorite here.
Super important job. To be an athletic trainer at a high school, that's a really important job.
Yeah, he's a busy man.
Talk about part of the community.
2:41 when the bell rings, man. The athletes are lining up to see Damien. Does a great job, him and his team. Number 9 is going to bust this one up the gut.
Touchdown, Lancers.
Touchdown, Lance Cruz. Little sweep action right. He put his foot into the turf, turned that ball up the field, and I think he went in untouched.
He sure did.
I mean, we must have been pursuing and a couple good blocks up front. The seas parted, and you don't see that very often. A run 20-plus yards straight through the center, untouched. Good speed. And Lance Cruz takes a 15-7 lead here.
How unlike the Huskies defense to have nobody there. They are pursuing like crazy right now, and Lance Cruz is using it against them.
This misdirection, yeah, these options, and they're Kelsich making the right calls, running backs running against the grain, and over pursuit, and we're seeing some long runs here. Lance Cruz trying to make this a 2-possession game. That ball's through. 16-7, Lance Cruz. 9:58 to go.
All right, watch the difference, Tony, and how these teams are running off the field. You'll notice there's definitely a difference in pep in their step right now.
Right.
So it's incumbent upon Coach Street and his team to take this moment in this huddle here before this kick return to really recenter themselves and to have to clear out the last, I don't know, 14 minutes out of their mind. They have to start right now from zero.
I was talking to Coach. He was worried. He wasn't worried, but he was talking about eliminating distractions. It's homecoming night. A lot of alumni in the crowd, a lot of family, a lot of hype, pep assembly today, parade. These guys have to focus on football. He lauded them for great games after their Roseville victory. They had 2 games where they were probably the favorite. They were worried. He was worried maybe they'd come out slow, but they went out in those 2 games and handled business. Tonight, with homecoming, they've been focused all week, but they've been delivered a punch here by Lance Cruz. Still plenty of time, but they're going to have to put a drive together here. I'd love to see Lakeview cut into this lead a little bit. Starts with this kickoff here from the 40. Lance Cruz drives this ball high, relatively short, received it 9-yard line by Brandon Harris. He's got a lane. He's going to break this ball out left. If he can break a tackle, he could go. This is where the track speed kicks in. Nobody's going to catch him. Brandon Harris up the left side for a kickoff return touchdown. 85 yards up the left side. Hard run, broke a tackle, and then I've said it before with this kid, that breakaway speed, it's effortless running. There was no chance once he got to about midfield that anybody was going to take him on an angle. He's just too fast.
And that is how you reset the game. Exactly right.
Crowd is back into it. The student section.
I can hear the dog pound from here.
Nice. Brandon Harris, big play. Attaboy. I love to watch him run. I've been watching him in the track season. Effortless. He glides when he runs that 100-meter. And there was about an 85-meter dash to the end zone. Medvedik puts it through. That brings the Lakeview Huskies back within 2 points. 16-14. Whoa, what a game we got going here, Matt.
I'll tell you what, it is far from a perfectly executed game. There have been some big plays, and big plays usually mean that there's some sort of a breakdown. And we've seen it. We've seen Lance Cruz gain the edge on a kick return. We saw Lakeview hit a big pass, and now we just see another kick return for a touchdown. I'm loving the special teams today. This is fun. This is fun. And again, if you listen in the background, give them a little ambient noise. The band is alive. The student section is alive. The alumni are alive. Here they are.
Absolutely. A big day today. Coming after this game starting after the parade. Grand Marshal, my father-in-law, Pat Threet, father of Coach Threet. You might know him as Coach Bubba.
Everybody knows Bubba, let's be honest.
Bubba, he is kind of the heartbeat of the sideline. He takes care of all the equipment, takes care of that Bubba water.
The size of the smile on his face during the parade today was priceless.
Oh, man, he had smiles. He has tears. If you know him, he's an emotional guy.
He is.
And he was loving it, and hopefully, oh, here we go with that onside kick. Andrew Medvedik had a beautiful kick. We're going to see who comes up with it. Andrew could have grabbed that ball himself, but he was waiting for his teammates.
They're fighting in that pile right now.
That ball was just tapped at the 40. Andrew does a great job of just pushing that ball past that 50-yard line. It looked like Andrew, Lakeview ball. Lakeview ball looks like number 15 comes out of the pile with the ball. Jason Messenger. And there you have it.
That's pretty wild.
There's that onside kick.
That's pretty wild.
Medvedik I thought he had the first chance at it. He kicked that ball straight. It went 10 yards. It popped up right in his chest. I don't know if he knew he could be the first one to touch it. But after a battle and a pile, Jason Messenger comes through.
I would love to know what Coach Phillips here from Lance Cruz is talking to the referee about. Maybe he thought that his guy had recovered it and Lakeview pulled it out.
Yeah. That ball got to 10.5 yards, and then there was a fight for it. So it looked legal to me, and it's our ball, and McKee back to pass. He's got a man open, gets hit, and he throws a dime to Aguilera.
Wow. Composure. What composure to just stand there, know you're getting hit, and deliver the dime. You know who he looked like?
Jared Goff. Hey. Jared Goff. He took a lick, bum foot, saw the pressure coming, stepped into that throw, threw a beautiful touch pass to Anthony Aguilera over the shoulder. He brought it in with contact.
Again, 1st and 10, people are thinking run, run, run. That's all Lakeview does is run. And they caught them with 11 in the box, safeties flying up and hit a big play.
A little fumbled snap here, some sort of miss. Just not a clean exchange here. He was never able to hand that ball off. So that play is going to take you back about 4 yards.
It is frustrating to go from huge chunk play to that. It's kind of anticlimactic. And it sets you back now 2nd and 10, or 2nd and 15.
Yeah, they're behind the chains. I've been following Coach Street and his offensive philosophy for several years. He's coaching a few different schools, and he runs this 3-back system, and you've coached under him. And, wherever he's been, even though he doesn't throw the ball a ton, when he does throw it, it's with a purpose. I mean, it usually hits, and there are multiple options. And I remember watching a few years where, man, it seemed like every time they went back to pass, as long as they could get the protection, it seemed like somebody was running open, and there was Aguilera on the first play of
I'll tell you what, I have coached with Pat, and he's very frustrated right now, and he's biting his bottom lip.
Delay a game.
Yes. That's on him. That's on him and his play calling team and his quarterback. You got to get the play off. It's important because now we're at 2nd and 20. And again, we've seen some chunk plays today, but this isn't what they're known for.
No.
Right?
Now, Medvedik has a big leg.
What is his range, Tony?
Yeah, I've seen him hit from 40. He can definitely hit between 30 and 40. So, if you can get this ball to around about 10 more yards, you're in range. I say if that ball's spotted at around the 20 to 25-yard line, I think you got a shot to kick it. It's not a guarantee, but it is an option this year because he does have a big leg. If you didn't know, my partner up here in the booth, Coach Matt Baranka, he has coached with Coach Street. Coached on the offensive side of the ball, am I correct?
Yeah, we coached a few years together.
Here we go, 2nd and 20. The ball's being run hard up the middle.
Brandon Harris, the ball carrier.
Brandon Harris. Not just, I've watched this guy grow a little bit. Beginning of the year, they knew he was a breakaway guy, but with each game, he's starting to break more and more tackles, run a little bit harder.
I'm not sure how his ankle's feeling. You had mentioned the PE incident this week, but on that play right there wasn't a single defensive player that was watching him on his rollout. So
yeah, the quarterback is definitely a running
option. Pull
option.
that back out.
McKee hasn't run the ball as much as other quarterbacks of the past, but there's that pass play. Off the play action, no pass protection there. He had guys immediately in his face.
Shack on the tackle.
Brian Shack on a sack for Lance Cruz,
To
but
bring up fourth down and long.
this pass game, you got to get the protection. There's always it looks like it's always off of some sort of play action. Quarterback has his back turned for a split second. He's got to be able to turn and locate his options. If he can, usually good things happen. If guys are breaking through that line, you know, you've seen us take some sacks this year, and we got the offense still on the field with a 4th down and 22. This is we're at our own 33-yard line. This would be a 50-yard field goal. We are out of range. I wonder if you would want to punt it here and try to pin them deep. We're going to run a roll out left. Has a man. Oh, it looked like he was going to. Ball was thrown a little bit short. Harris had his man on a wheel. Was going to break away from him. That ball was just underthrown. If we got a few more yards on that ball, we might be talking touchdown, but turnover on downs for Lakeview.
Right before the snap there, you had mentioned, I wonder if we should go ahead and punt here. And anybody can talk about it now that was an incomplete pass, but there is some value to that idea, right? Go ahead and at least try to get it down there inside the 20-yard line, 10-yard line.
Wonder if that high snap had any thing to do with that call, but
for sure.
Regardless, we almost hit. Did not. Lance Cruz ball with a 2-point lead inside their own 35. This ball's handed up the gut, stuffed by a host of Huskies.
If you're the Lancers with 6 minutes and some change to go right now, there's no time consideration. You're not looking to rush. You get to be yourself. Everything is normal.
Gary Winston on the stop for the Huskies.
Gary Winston, first-year starter here, senior year.
Gain of 2, brings up 2nd down.
18 new starters this year from last year's Lakeview Huskies lineup on both sides of the ball. A lot of guys starting, you know, their 6th game of the year here. This ball's run up the middle.
Number 9, Brian Shack, the ball carrier.
Love to see some guys shed some blocks there on the defensive line and stop them at the first point of contact. Ball handlers are getting to the linebackers here.
You know what's really interesting is they run these 3 wide, 4 wide sets. Have they passed the ball at all?
They've attempted a couple, but actually no. We had a few plays get a sack. They've dropped back a few times, but I don't think they've ever actually let the ball go yet. You see Carl Johnson playing press coverage too. You wonder if they're going to try to take a shot.
I have to wonder if their scouting report even mentioned Keontae Wolf. Like, what? To me, it seems like an automatic thing that I would want to at least test once, twice.
The new guy, Carl Johnson.
Get out there. Get the ball out to his edge. Make Carl make a play. Or go pick on him and try to throw something his way.
Carl Johnson, similar size and speed to Keontae. He's a great athlete, both basketball players. Both have good hands. Carl had a big play in that Stevenson game where he ran an 80-yard touchdown. So he's an athlete. He's up for the challenge. This is going to be the challenge here now to try to stop him in 3rd down and 2. Lance Cruz did take a timeout there to talk about this big play. 5:34 left in the 2nd quarter.
Let's see if they try to use Lakeview's upfield rush against them again.
Kalsic hands his ball off the left side. Power run. 1st down. Good. When you talk about winning the line of scrimmage, it looked like Lance Cruz won that line.
Significant push right there.
Yeah, you know, you saw that. We got a good vantage point up here in the booth. That line just kind of sunk back a yard or 2 before he was even touched. 1st down and 10 from their own 48. Lance Cruz. Here we go. Carl Johnson in this press coverage. Man coverage on the outsides. Lakeview adjusting their coverage. High snap. Kalsic, good one-handed grab. Another missed tackle there by Pendleton. Kalsic running hard.
You know, he's not extremely big. He doesn't look extremely athletic, but he sure does run forward. He runs downhill. He runs hard.
Shifty, yeah.
A little shifty.
He's able to make Pendleton miss in the backfield.
Down inside. The ball is marked at the 33.
A couple guys down. Jason Messenger came up hobbled. He's talking to Damian over there. Official, not a timeout. Referee's trying to get Lance Cruz back on. Somebody's going to have to come in for Messenger. Brady Pope. Tucker Weddle coming in on defense. Corey Pendleton. You might want to talk about that play. Corey Pendleton had a chance to make a tackle in the backfield. Coach Kalea talking to him. Coach Kalea getting after him a little bit. Coach Kalea, he's fiery.
Coach Kalea is known for this fire.
And that's why the kids love him. Again, we got Kelsich on the keeper, the read option there, and he's going to run hard. Ball's loose. At least everybody in Lakeview. Here we go. Beanbag, blue beanbag in. Side judge coming in. Lakeview football.
Fumble on the play, recovered by the Huskies.
What a turn of events. Number 23 comes out with that ball for Lakeview.
Terrell McCurdy getting down and dirty.
Terrell McCurdy.
First down and 10 Huskies.
As you hear Mr. Selby, down and dirty with McCurdy. That play was a nice little run, but I have noticed that Kelsich kind of lets that ball hang out a little bit. It looked like on that last run, somebody was trying to punch it out from behind. He was able to bring it to the ground. There he was in a pile, and I couldn't see it, but obviously it was loose. You saw Lakeview guys start pointing Lakeview way, and here we go. Lakeview has a chance with 4:37 in the second quarter, down 2, to put one of those Lakeview drives together and go into halftime with the lead.
With 70 yards to go, you've got to have a little pace now,
Yep.
right? They got to pick it up the pace.
Balls run up the middle. You know, you don't see this last few weeks against other MAC white teams. Henry Ford last week. Utica 2 weeks ago. Lakeview was picking up chunks. They were picking up 3, 4, 5 yards on every run up the middle, breaking some big ones. Struggling here. You can see McKee hobbling.
Oh, he is definitely hobbling. And not only that, but he has to go to the sideline every play to get the call.
Old school.
It is old school.
You've been a part of that?
Yeah.
Jordan and Peyton Miskelly. Happy belated birthday, girls.
When the quarterback comes over there, Coach Threed is not just telling him to play. There's a lot of strategy that goes into that.
Galero out wide. Ball's going to be handed off. Here we go. Back in the backfield. Tackled by number 44, Lance Cruz. Antonio Walters
on that stop.
brings Brandon Harris down. That's a huge play by Antonio Walters. It's tough to bring down Brandon Harris in a one-on-one situation. And brought him back for a loss of 3 now.
The line of scrimmage continues to move in Lance Cruz's favor here.
You know, they knew coming into this game that, you know, they still got their eyes set on winning this MAC White or making some things happen in this MAC White. Lots of games, lots of season left to be played. 6 wins gets you in the playoffs. They're looking to make some wins. Nice rollout pass. This hits Eric Simmons. He's got speed. That little misdirection. Little out pattern by Eric Simmons. Wide open, little dump pass for about 4 yards. But he had nothing but green. He was easily able to turn that up the field. And what a huge first down. That's
a big chunk in that game. A 20 is going to give you a nice cushion here towards moving down the field.
Disheartening when it's 3rd and 14, double sticks. You see the referees say 2 sticks, and boom, you get a little out pass, and the coverage broke. And Eric Simmons, that's a couple times he's done that today. McKee under center, looking to pass again. Here it is again, the other way. Nice little pass to Eric Simmons. Oh! I thought he was going to break it. Number 9 for the Lancers. Brian Shack was able to make a shoestring tackle, or else he might be in the end zone there.
That's
Ooh.
just the same play the other way, huh?
That's what we do in flag football.
I like that. Speaking of flag football, you guys playing on Thanksgiving again this year?
You know it. We'll be out here at Richard Black Stadium, or maybe we play at Macomb Township. We don't know yet, but every Thanksgiving we'll be out here. That's what we do in flag football, though. It works one way. We used to play at Liberty Park. Don't want to brag here, Matt, but a 3-time Liberty Park flag football champion. I was the quarterback. They called me Sticks. We'd run a play to the right. It worked.
Speaking of flag football, on the left. When is the big Powder Puff game?
Oh, yeah, I'm lucky enough to, they've asked me to coach Powder Puff again this year on October 10th. We will be taking on, our senior girls here at Lakeview will be taking on the rivals from the north, Lakeshore, in a Powder Puff flag football game here at Lakeview on October 10th, Tuesday. if you're listening, you're probably going to hear this before the game. Please come on out, support. All the money goes to the senior class, and it's going to be awesome. We got 80 girls on the team this year. You've helped me coach it before in the past.
Tuesday Night Lights. That's going to be intense.
Tuesday Night Lights. We had
Love
our
it.
first practice this past week. We got 3 practices next week, a 5th practice in the future. And we're on a 6 or 7 year win streak, trying to continue this win streak.
Hey, that dates back to when I was coaching.
Yeah,
with
you got it started. Here we go. Lakeview back on the field, breaking tackles, but not getting too far. Just run up the middle, trying to wear on the Lancers. Maybe we'll break one, but so far it's just been short gains. Gain of 1 or 2 for Brandon Harris. We're down to 2 minutes in the second quarter.
So the Huskies do have all of their timeouts left, and I would anticipate we're going to start seeing them use them in the next couple plays.
We'll love to get into halftime with a lead. McKee holds that ball. Oh, he overthrows his man. That ball's going to be intercepted. Intercepted back there by Lance Cruz. Had a man running a slant or a skinny post. His receiver kind of sat in open field. McKee threw it deep. Don't know if there was miscommunication or just a route run a little bit short, but that ball was overthrown. He had the time that time too. He had nothing but good protection in front of him. He stepped up, slung that ball, overshot his man, and that ball was kind of easily intercepted back there by the Lance Cruz safety. And here we go.
One thing that I notice when he does throw the ball is his feet are rarely set. He's usually trying to set his feet or running. And that one, it was hard to get enough zip on the ball for him.
Yeah, he kind of overshot his man there, and Lakeview's got to make a stop there. They're going to run towards Big David Hasagetti there. And
I'm so surprised that they just continue to run right at him.
Yeah, he swallowed him up there. I mean, you can see right there. He's built to play at the next level.
He looks different compared to the other 21 players out there.
I was standing next to him today. He's got to be 6'4". He's muscle on muscle, and he can run. And he's strong, and he's got good hands. Good player. Taking their time here, Lance Cruz. The clock is running. It's at a minute now. They seem to be in no hurry, even though they could maybe try to extend this lead. 2nd down and 7. Handed off to number 6 off the right side. He's running hard. Breaks a tackle or so, but he will be brought down after a gain of about 4 or 5.
So I'm seeing that they're on the sidelines here. There's a few guys from Lance Cruz, shaking hands, high-fiving. I think going into halftime here up is their game plan. I think they're satisfied right now, and obviously you can see they're in no rush. They're not looking to continue to push the ball down the field, and they'll consider it a big deal to win the first half.
Looks like we're going to have a timeout. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. When we started the game off with the ball, Lakeview started with the ball.
They did.
So, definitely Lance Cruz will come out to start with the ball in the second half. This is one of those times you talk about if you could score, that whole score at the end of the half, get the ball to start. But, they have wasted a lot of time. They let about 41 seconds go off the clock. They're at a 3rd down. They got 75 yards to go. So, we'll see what Coach draws up here for Lance Cruz. Head coach Vincent Phillips.
You almost got to wonder, is there a trick play that they have for something like this?
You wonder if you're Lakeview, if you're Coach Kalea, coaching the secondary, don't be fooled by some sort of misdirection, some sort of double pass, some sort of gadget play. Just got Carl Johnson coming up here playing his man way out by the numbers.
Well, that's just to take him out of the play. They're not throwing.
You don't
that.
think they'll throw it? That's a deep throw. They are going to run this ball up the gut. They will get a 1st down. Clock will stop momentarily. Doesn't look like Lance Cruz has any timeouts left. Doesn't look like they're going to take a timeout. This clock is rolling. 5 seconds left. Coach is pointing to the corner of the end zone. Looks like they're going to go to halftime. They're not going to run another play. That brings the halftime score. Huskies have 14. Lancers have 16. not a familiar position in the last few weeks to be down at halftime. It's homecoming night. It's going to be the homecoming festivities. So they'll put several more minutes on the clock. We'll hear from we'll go see the court, homecoming court. My son's on court, Matt.
I saw him in the parade.
Liam Savali and all the other kids too, but my son's on the junior court.
Proud dad moment for sure.
Marching band getting ready to take the field, the court, the dance team. You gotta love homecoming.
Homecoming's a great time. Speaking of homecoming, I didn't realize how many former players are here coaching on Coach 3's staff.
Yeah, we got a lot of former guys. We got the coaches walking by us, and we're going to swing it for the halftime festivities. When we come back, I'm going to go see if I can listen in to the coaches, and we'll be back. Lakeview down by 2, going into halftime in this MAC White battle against the Lancers. All right, and we are back from homecoming halftime. Quite the festivities.
Hey, there is big news for the
about
Lakeview Huskies football team coming out of halftime.
Tell me about it.
Well, they announced the homecoming king, and it was none other than
Number 57.
Number 57, Brody Carr.
What a fella. Brody Carr loves football, loves playing for the Huskies.
Loves
he is
Lakeview.
The heartbeat of this team. The crowd loves him, chanting Brody, Brody. And man, he loves football. He's a social media presence.
He does.
And he is going to hopefully get these guys fired up. The crowd is fired up. Homecoming queen, one of my powder puff players, Maria Decker. Congratulations to Brody and Maria on homecoming king and queen. And here we are back to play some football now. The difference in this game is that safety, that bad snap over the punter's head. We're down 2. This game has been a little bit unconventional with some special team scores on both ends. Some offensive hits and misses here and there. No real flow to either offense, but they are hitting it every once in a while for a big play. Lakeview kicking off from their own 40 to start the second half. Number 6 deep for Lance Cruz. He's going to try to break this ball off to the left, doing some stiff arming, and here he goes, running hard again, running over players, staying on his feet. He's going to run this ball out almost to the 40. Man,
this is such a physical game.
That kid's a player.
I cannot tell you how loud the pads crashing are. I mean, my ears are ringing from up here. This is that. If the second half is going to be encapsulated in that play right there, we're in for a hard-hitting half.
Hey, number 6 on Lance Cruz. He's really been breaking some tackles. Donovan Ray. Got to start making these tackles. Oh, didn't even see the flag. Illegal blindside block. That's going to bring it back from the spot of the foul. So this ball, which was going to be out at around the 40, looks like it's going to be walked. Keep on walking. This guy's going to walk this ball inside the 20. That's a big play for Lakeview.
What a huge change in field position to start this now.
Absolutely. These two teams met twice last year. Week 7, they're going to keep walking this ball back.
Wow.
In Week 7, Lakeview played Lance Cruz and won that game. Lakeview won 39-0 in Week 7. Then they met in the first round in the playoffs, and it was quite the opposite. Lance Cruz beat Lakeview 49-7 in the first round of the playoffs. Both teams have revenge on their mind. They both lost last year. First play of the second half, not going for much. Last year, Lance Cruz had a quarterback-receiver combination that hit in the playoffs for several long touchdown passes. So that was, both teams are remembering last year. Both teams have playoffs on the mind. Both teams have the MAC White on the mind. So like you said, this second half, we should be in for a doozy.
They do say, it's really hard to beat a team twice in one season.
Yeah, we saw that last year, and here we go. 2nd down and 10. No gain on that first play. Kelsey's back to pass. Looking left, looking left, looking left. Going to throw left to number 2. Number 2 comes back to meet the ball. Wrapped up by number 15. Referee's going to call this play dead. Jason Messenger is not going to let him go. Caught that ball about 7 yards, brought it back to 5. Messenger wrapped him up and wasn't going to let go of him that time. This could be a big play. I know we got a lot of game left, but first drive, if you can get off the field in a 3-and-out situation.
Interesting to see them throw the ball.
Yeah. Timothy Kelsich, 10th grader, looking to his sideline. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Like you said, kick that one guy way out to the right, number 1. One man in the backfield. Kelsich back to pass. Looking right. He is going to throw it up to that number 1. Great coverage there. Hey, there's your boy.
There's Carl Johnson. So, actually, on the first play, Carl Johnson was on the near side, down here by us. And they switched after that play. And then, sure enough, they went after him right there.
They try to isolate him. That's a long throw.
That is a long throw.
Even if your number 1 had a half step, that ball's got to be thrown probably, 45, 50 yards to get across the field. A little bit underthrown. Carl Johnson turned and found the ball. Put his left paw up, got a deflection, pass deflection. You got to love those. Legal pass deflections. And here we go. Lance Cruz back to punt. Just the way you want to draw it up if you're Coach Threed and the defensive staff.
Also worth noting that, Lakeview really played strong at the line of scrimmage that series.
Lakeview went all out for the block there. Didn't even put any man deep. Almost got the block.
Hey, if you block one, you might as well try to block another.
Yeah,
right?
You see a lot of that in high school football. Not always bringing a guy back. Just because the punt game's not as strong as you might see in college or the NFL. That ball doesn't get as much hang time. So,
You know who's a good punter? Jack Fox. You know what team he plays for?
All-pro punter Jack Fox for my Detroit Lions, 3-1. Top of the NFC North. Man, I can't tell you how good it feels. You are rocking Lions t-shirt, Lions hat, so you must be reveling in last night's Lambeau victory.
Well, in reality, I just when I stopped teaching here at Lakeview, I just kind of got rid of all my stuff, so I needed something to wear tonight.
Well, I saw the pictures of you at the Lions game. I know you're a fan, and your daughters are fans. And here we go, Lakeview. Back to pass. Here we go. There's that swing pass. Oh, my. Had it, and tough catch, a little bit
It was
low.
on the tip of his fingers there, but it was not delivered where you want it.
Ball was thrown a little soft, but it was there. Eric Simmons is probably going to tap his head and say, that's on me. That play, third or fourth time running that play?
Yeah.
And it's been open, and if we can put a little zip on that ball, I think Eric can turn that corner because he's one of our track guys. I keep saying track speed. He catches that ball with a running start and get his shoulders turned. He might just be gone. Here we go. That pass play's been there. McKee under center. Zone 35, first 10. Back-to-back passes for Lakeview. This ball's up. Here's the flag.
He had a hand wrapped around his waist there.
Oh, and here he goes. Here he goes. Number 5. Number 5 is not happy with that call, but it was a ball that was underthrown, but that doesn't change the rules, right? Yeah.
Well, the way that Brownlee had his offhand around the waist. He was already trying to swat at a ball that wasn't there. It's basically a hug. Trying
to come through the back of Brandon Harris. The ball was up. McKee had guys in his face, kind of got hit as he threw, but that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. And I'm watching McKee. He is hobbling quite a bit, Matt.
It's definitely worth noting that the first 2 plays in the second half for Lakeview have been designed passes.
They might see something. This is different. Yeah, I don't know the last time I saw back-to-back passes out of the Husky offense, and I'm liking it because there's things there as long as we get. And here we go, a third one. And he's, he underthrew that ball. Ball is intercepted by number 6. Donovan Ray, speaking, we've already mentioned his name on offense. Here he is. You wonder if this foot, because you're seeing time from McKee, he's got time to plant. And he had David Osagetti kind of on a skinny post. Guarded by Donovan Ray, and if that ball was thrown deep, Asaghetti with his height can make a play, but that ball was underthrown. Number 6 was able to turn and make a play on that.
Well, as you know, throw mechanics are not just an arm motion, right? It starts from the very bottom of the body, and it really looks like he's having trouble planting to throw the ball with full strength.
And McKee's thrown a couple interceptions today, hit some passes too as well, but the deep one hasn't hit yet.
You'll notice Carl Johnson's playing on our side of the field now.
See that. Couple turnovers both ways, couple fumbles for Lance Cruz, couple interceptions for Lakeview. Kickoff return for Lance Cruz, kickoff return for Lakeview. It's been very mirrored game here. It's that safety that's still keeping us down 2. Here goes number 6 off the right side. He's that hard runner. He's never seems to go down on first contact. Donovan Ray. Got to keep an eye on him. Got to have your linebackers aware of him. Coach Kalea, Coach Liska, that defensive staff, Coach Cannell over there talking about number 6, leading his defense to kind of know their role, play sound. 1st and 10 for Lance Cruz. Kelsich to number 6 on a little short side sweep. He breaks another tackle in the backfield.
Donovan Ray, the ball carrier once again.
Number 18, Corey Pendleton, could have had him in the backfield. He's able to break that tackle. Corey Pendleton playing outside linebacker, Matt. 5'7", 175.
Hey,
Man of muscle. He's ripped. But that's the type of guys that we have here at Lakeview. We got some big fellas, but man, Coach Street and these guys, they coach up guys to play hard, work hard, hit that weight room. 2nd down and 7 for Lance Cruz. This ball's going the left side now. Same play left, that short side sweep. Donovan Ray seems to be touching the ball a lot here, Matt, in the second half.
He's the workhorse right now. He is coming off for a break, but they feel like they have something with him. Again, they are controlling the line of scrimmage right now. They're getting a big push up front.
They're in 3rd down and 2.5 from inside their 40. Kelsich out of the pistol to number 9.
Donovan Ray once again close to
Brian Shack. They'll be close. Depends on where they spot the ball. They're going to give them a 1st down and move these chains.
The gain is enough for a Lancer 1st down.
So I really thought coming into this game, Lance Cruz would do all that they could to avoid Asaghetti, and that has not been their game plan. In fact, it's the opposite, and they just run at him all game long.
You scout some things, maybe you throw some wrinkles, you do something that you don't expect, and Lakeview's having a tough time stopping this run game. There's Shack again.
It's kind of interesting to see a Lakeview team out there have the ball run against them with 3-4 yard gains over and over and over. That is their philosophy. It's just really interesting to see.
Yeah, it's hard to run at Malik Mason. Look at him there, number 73. Then a right guard. David Asaghetti, right tackle. 2nd down and 8. Kelsich out of the shotgun. Hands his ball off to number 9. Shack now getting several carries. There's another chunk play.
Brian Shack, the ball carrier.
So the reason that play hits right there is Myatt comes upfield really, really, really hard. And what that does is it allows the running back, Shack, to just cut up inside of it. And that's exactly what they did.
You've seen definitely 2 different styles of run games. A lot of sweep actions here from Lance Cruz. Out of the shotgun, out of the pistol. Lakeview more traditional under center. You're seeing 2 different philosophies. Both seem to work. Defenses are having trouble stopping. There's a stop there. There's some, He's going to call face mask. I think we might see a face mask. Dominic Pacheri with a...
Man, that's really the first time that, in quite some time, that Lakeview's D-line was able to just dominates the
5-yard
line of
face mask
scrimmage.
penalty against the Huskies.
That might be enough for a first down.
That's going to give the Lancers a first down.
Ay. 5-yard penalty. That's the 5-yard version. I saw that from here. I don't know if there was a glancing to the helmet area. I don't know if there was a grab of a face mask, but
all a 5-yard means is that the hand was in the face mask area and touched it.
And it did do that. And that's, those are the things, those are the small things that even though you make a nice play, ended up moving the chains here for Lance Cruz. Here's that sweep action here out to the left. Cuts it upfield. Gets driven back by a host of Huskies. Big number 55 in on the tackle. Dominic Picheri getting some snaps here, making the most of his snaps in back-to-back plays. Hard worker.
So as they approach the red zone here, I'm interested to see if they're willing to try, I guess, to put it in the air at all. Again, when you have a wide receiver down here split this far down, like they have
decoy.
Yeah. And that's why.
There's that sweep action. They run Carl Johnson out of the
Carl,
play.
yeah. That is the perfect example of why you split the receiver out that far.
You run the receiver on a fly. Carl Johnson's got to run with the receiver. They run the sweep left.
Holding against the offense.
Holding on the offensive line. You saw that flag go up early in that run, even though it looked promising. You can kind of tell when it's going to be a holding call. So, again, the Lance Cruz staff not loving it. The fans here at Lance Cruz not loving that call, but they're going to walk that back 10.
Well, that changes things a little bit. I'm very grateful to the Lakeview Athletic Department for having the digital down box. It makes knowing what down it is so easy compared to some fields, where it has a faded orange number. That's
absolutely
really a nice adjustment and addition to this field.
Tell you what, then you come back 1 year from now, Matt, we should have a brand new field. Should have brand new press box. You're going to see we're going to be sitting on the opposite side. There's going to be some major renovations coming in the spring to Richard Black Stadium. Kalsic back to pass. 2nd down and 14. He's looking deep over Carl Johnson. There he is again. Carl Johnson.
Deflected away by Carl Johnson.
Buckling the straps. I think that means he got him on lock. He's locked down over there. Carl Johnson was beat by half step. You see him use that closing speed. And once again, he turned and found the ball. It's hard to teach young guys, especially guys who are filling in. You see so many guys just run into the receiver, get a pass interference call. He turns, finds the ball, knocks it down.
It's kind of fun to step in on a big stage like this and make a play like that.
Make plays. I know the Johnson family's up in the crowd cheering him on. Charles, you can see Carl's talking a little trash. There's David Osagetti off the right side. Wraps up. Oh, and look how Kalsic might escape, but that's going to be a sack for David Osagetti. Wrapped him up by the shoulder pad, stayed off the helmet, spun Kalsic to the ground. Kalsic was trying there with everything in his power to stay on his feet. And he ended up, Dave, he just had enough to bring him down. That's going to be a huge loss. 4th down and 20-something. Looks like the punt team's coming on. And a long drive, a sustained drive, but a couple big plays by Carl Johnson and David Osagetti will force the Lancers into punting.
Nobody back for the Huskies.
Back.
Kind of looks like they're just going to play defense here.
Play defense, watch the fake, don't jump offside, and see if you can get a hand on this ball. Good pass, or good blocking by the Lancers, and this ball is going to possibly be down inside the 5. I was looking to see, sometimes you look and see. I thought that young man might have had his foot on the end line when he touched the ball, but referee doesn't agree with me, and this ball is going to be inside the 5-yard line, and it's going to be a long field to work with for Lakeview. They do get the ball back down 16-14 with 3:51 to play in the 3rd. McKee and the team and offensive boys are going to have to put a drive together, Matt.
In the grand scheme of the game, this right here very well could be the turning point. It's either going to be what allows Lakeview to have a 97-yard drive, and they're going to be really successful and eat some clock and kind of reestablish themselves today. or this very well could be the swing and field position that allows Lance Cruz to really establish themselves.
Field position is so key in high school football. I guess it's key in all football, but it's tough to work out of your own end zone here. Oh my, I saw a huge hole. Huge hole. I thought he might break that thing. He got a couple arms came out and clotheslined him here at the end.
We're going to try to get an injury update here. I'm not sure if there's an update on McKee, but this is Jimmy Szymanski in here.
Jimmy Szymanski, number 16 in at quarterback. Oh, yeah, Jimmy Szymanski. Senior Jimmy Szymanski, who has definitely had a few snaps this year. Keontae Wolf has had some snaps at quarterback. He's down. McKee was hobbled like we saw. Jimmy Szymanski comes in. Good athlete, multi-sport athlete, trustworthy, and he's going to take over the helm.
I just got word from the sidelines. Injury report on McKee. He is questionable for the remainder of the game.
Short game for the Huskies can bring up a
Jimmy Szymanski, basketball player, baseball player, good athlete, good footwork, and confident young man. I have him in my writing for publications class. I asked him today, are you going to be under the center? He thought he might be, and so I know he's ready. He's not nervous. He was ready to go in class. Seemed very calm, and there he is. We're looking to throw the ball, and he throws a dime out here to Aiden Daniels, number 20, busting up the right side. He's not going to avoid contact. Shows the first down marker. You got to love when Aiden Daniels has the ball. And here we go. Guy comes up hobbled. You don't want to tackle Aiden Daniels. He's not going to run out of bounds. Got that Walter Payton mentality. If you're going to tackle me, I'm going to run into you first. And both guys kind of come up hobbled. They look okay, but that was a big hit. Aiden Daniels.
I got to wonder if, like a train, I got to wonder if Lakeview's offensive philosophy here is kind of evolving because of Brandon Gordon in the middle for Lance Cruz. I think we've seen in the first half, he is just plugging up the middle. He is a wall.
Yeah,
and in order for them to really try to move the ball right now, in their philosophy, I think they got to put the ball in the air.
Well, those little play action out passes have worked. We haven't seen Brandon Harris or Eric Simmons really break one, but Szymanski can definitely throw the ball. There we go. Hard count. It's going to be encroachment or offsides by the defense. Walk them off 5.
And that can happen after a big play, right? The defense wants to kind of tighten back up, and they want to show that, reestablish their dominance. That's a good job by Szymanski to come in there and take control.
He's a good athlete. I'm telling you, he was very confident today. And I have a lot of confidence here that he's going to get the play calls from the sideline, run them in, and he's been working hard to execute these. See the sleight of hand. Szymanski evades some pressure, throws a beautiful pass, rolling left to Brandon Harris. In and out of his hands. That was a beautiful throw. Beautiful throw by Szymanski. Got outside the pocket, bought himself an extra second or two, did take a nice hit in the chest, but threw an absolute perfect pass to Brandon Harris. He just couldn't come down with it.
He really showed some poise there, right? Shaq is in his face, giving him a hard rush. He takes him down. It's a pretty serious hit. That was a great pass.
He knows it. Coaches know it. You look at Brandon, you say, get the next one. But that's got to build some confidence for Szymanski, throwing 2 really good passes here. And we'll see if now we got Brandon Harris. Oh, man, one cut. Got 6 yards. That's going to be a first down. I'm waiting for Brandon Harris to get that one little jump cut.
You watch Brandon Harris, but I'm going to tell you, the offensive line on that play, they're back, okay? If they continue to do this, we're going to start to see the ball get marched down the field on the ground.
Ball is now on the other side of the 50, inside Lance Cruz territory.
We're starting to see some hands on our hips there for Lance Cruz. We got guys on a knee.
Bringing some subs in here for Lance Cruz. Number 74, Ahmed Martinez in the line. Lots of guys in this box. Always common here, guys in the box. We're going Brandon Harris, right side. Running hard, going to get a couple. Trying to wear on these Lancers. That sets up that play action pass play, though. You got to continue to try to run this ball up the middle, stay true to what you do. Aiden Daniels coming back in. Also on the track team. I keep mentioning track. Coach Dan Cheney, our head varsity track coach here, and he's got a lot of his athletes out here on the football field, a lot of his sprinters in skill positions, and it's cool to see these guys play multiple sports.
Over the years, the amount of success that Coach Cheney has had from track and field really does translate onto the football field.
Tucker Weddle breaks a couple tackles hard up the middle. That's going to be a good chunk. Trying to stay on schedule. 3rd down and short. So important to play multiple sports. So many different skill sets that you gain, you know, bursts. The way you work out for a track team, the way you work out in the weight room, builds different muscles. You know, coming off those blocks.
In the year 2023, that's pretty taboo to talk about, Tony. Sport specialization is so commonplace.
I know. I guess I'm old school.
Me too.
Saw Szymanski there, rolling out right, try to force that one into Daniels. Daniels has it. He's back to the 1st down marker. He was covered. That ball almost got to him. It was a nice defensive play, knocked down. And Coach Street's got a decision to make going into the 4th quarter. That was the last play of the 3rd quarter. And he's going to come out with a 4th down and 4 just inside his own, or just inside Lancer territory. If I know Coach Street, we're probably going for this. He's got some time to come up with a play call. What do you think? You think you do that little out route again, or?
Is it too obvious?
I feel like it's been obvious, but it's there. It's there to Eric Simmons. Jimmy Szymanski on the keeper.
I don't know. There's been a time that they've run it today where it's been covered properly. So you got to wonder. You go back to the well one more time and ride it.
This is where coaching comes in. Huge. Coach Phillips for Lance Cruz is probably telling these guys, boys, we've been beat on this one play 4 times.
I mean, the familiarity between the teams really makes a play like this fun. Coach Phillips playing chess against Coach Street, and it'll be interesting to see what Pat dials up here.
Here we go, 4th down and 4 Huskies.
Maybe a little Penei Sewell. There we go. Szymanski going to keep this ball. Has some time. Stepping up nicely in the. Oh no. Here we go.
So that's interesting.
Wow, there's flags from every.
A lot of flags.
3 flags from 3 different referees. Are they all calling the same thing? Szymanski did. You know what I saw there? Something you don't see a ton. He dropped back and very, very professional, like stepped up in the pocket. He had a rush coming up his right side. He trusted his block, and he stepped up 2 steps into that pocket, trying to hit number 8, Aguilera, but Aguilera got caught up in the backfield, or in the open field, and they called the penalty. I didn't even see what the penalty was. What was it, Matt? There was a pass interference or a holding?
I also was not looking. I was looking down at my roster.
They called a PI. I got it from the other guys in the booth. Thank you, guys. I got Chris Kopke up here in the booth, voice of the soccer team. He's running the scoreboard. Mr. Selby up here, the voice of Lakeview football. They said that was pass interference. Looks like there's a little confusion on whether this ball is going to be spotted. They're walking it back to the original line of scrimmage. Now they're going to walk it off.
So remember, in high school, pass interference is not a spot foul. It goes from the line of scrimmage.
Yep. Which I like. I've always been a fan of what we're doing here. As much as I love my Lions in the NFL, if Commissioner, what's his name? Commissioner Goodell?
Goodell.
If he could hear me right now, a 60-yard pass with a touch foul for a pass interference should not be a 60-yard penalty. That can change a game. So, sorry, I'm just ranting about NFL officiating like I do every Sunday at 1 o'clock.
NFL officiating.
We give a lot of props to our high school officials out here. These guys are not making NFL money. They do it for the love of the game, and they're a little short on officials right now. Somebody either false started or there was a jump.
Be a false start against the offense.
False start. Looked like number 28.
So interesting. Lakeview's been doing that kind of fake cadence there to try to draw the Lancers off sides, and it actually went against them.
Yeah.
So now it'll be 1st and 15.
You wonder if having a new voice in there, sometimes different sound, different cadence. Vincent Tringali there jumped a little early.
It does change things. As many times as you practice it, as much as you mandate the same cadence, nobody does it exactly the same.
Vincent Tringali, number 28, even though he had that penalty, big tight end. He's only in 10th grade. Brandon Harris off the right side. Going to get back those 5 yards. Uh-oh. And here we go. Number 77 for Lakeview in the backfield, that's Bobby Clark for offensive lineman for Lakeview.
It's a really isolated looking penalty.
Lance Cruz.
Neither guy's near each other at that time. Bobby Clark is walking back. I got to think this is one of those things where they're talking to each other as they walk back to the huddle.
See that sideline judge called that. Sitting here under the harvest moon on September 29th. Personal foul. It's not going to – you always wonder if they're going to give one on each guy, but looks like that one's going to go against number 77, Bobby Clark. Again, you got guys just talking too much probably after the play. And, man, if you are moving the ball with your new quarterback, 15-yard penalties don't work for this Lakeview offense. I mean, you can definitely come out of it, but 15-yard penalties are sometimes a drive killer. We'll see. It's still first down, but it's
the lack of discipline here is very uncharacteristic. There have been a lot of penalties that are choice penalties. These are guys who are talking after the whistle, and that discipline is usually pretty tight on that Huskies team.
Second down and 25. This ball is through the middle here. I got confused by the deception there. Number 24, Eric Simmons.
Give me Brandon Harris on that play all day. Carries out his fake and ends up blocking 10, 15, 20 yards downfield.
They've
That's
really
fun to watch.
They're asking their backs to be blockers. What do you do when you don't have the ball? Big Aiden Daniels, Big Tucker Weddle are like the lead blockers, the two backs they love to block. But yeah, even the smaller guys, Brandon Harris, Eric Simmons, you got to throw a block. These guys are strong. They've been in the weight room all summer. Third down and very long. Szymanski's going to look to pass. He's got guys all in his face.
Szymanski
sacked by, there he is, 75 and a bunch of Lancers.
So that sack there should be credited just as much to the defensive backfield as it is to him. Every single receiver downfield covered.
And you know, Lakeview does not operate, at least this year, out of any sort of pistol or shotgun. So when you're dropping back 3-step, 5-step drops, you're having to drop, turn, find your receiver. And Lance Cruz coach is not happy here. They had to run a guy on late. They weren't ready for the punt return, so they had to burn a timeout. 10 minutes and 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter. We're still at 16-14, the same score it was at halftime. It's been a battle of teams moving the ball and then kind of shooting themselves in their foot a little bit. Lakeview threw an interception. That big penalty knocked them back. Had to turnover on downs here, and now we got Lance Cruz here.
I think that there's definitely something to be said about Lance Cruz losing big last week. 37-0. Coming out this week with something to prove. When teams schedule their homecoming games, Tony, it's intentional. They are picking teams that they believe that they will win. And that's always a rallying cry for a visiting team. I can't even tell you how many coaches I've heard in the locker rooms over the years, and it always starts in the pregame with, they selected you for their homecoming game. You got to talk about a slap in the face, and that can really be a rallying cry for teams.
2 weeks ago, Lakeview traveled to Utica High School to play the Chieftains. That was homecoming night, and Lakeview was quick to kind of put a hush in the crowd and dominate that game.
I mean, that's the perfect example. To have homecoming on September 15th, that was intentional. They picked the Huskies for a reason.
Tonight we're at homecoming. You can tell that there's energy here on this Lancer sideline. Oh, my. Ramon Maya.
Cannot do that.
There are penalties down. I know we scoop and score here, but a great punt by Medvedev. Good hang time, and the returner was back, camped under the ball. He's still standing there with his hands out like, what just happened? There's going to be a call. The Lance Cruz fans are letting Lakeview have it. Ramon Maya just came up and kind of completed the tackle before the ball was there. That's going to definitely be interference with the
So it's actually extremely dangerous, right?
Absolutely.
We have a player looking up at the ball as it's coming in. Defenseless, as they say.
Yep. So that's going to give the Lancers some better field position. It's one of those things. I've watched a lot of football this year. Just due to high school, the punting game, you rarely see a ball have that much hang time where the coverage is able to get there at the time before the guy catches the ball. I mean, you see that a lot in college and the pros, but, you know, I don't think Ramon's been in that position a lot where he's broken away from blocking, and now he's looking at a guy who's about to catch the ball and he wants to make that big hit.
I would say even in the special teams session in a practice, it's very hard to simulate that, exactly what you just said.
I mean, you can talk about it, but it's hard to practice. And so Mike got there a little early. That's going to move the ball out to the 30 for the Lancers. The Huskies are going to need another stop. Still down 2 points, 16-14 with 9:54 to go. Kelsich out of the shotgun, 3 receivers right. They're going to run that ball right to big number 6. He's breaking tackles. Carl Johnson comes up. He breaks around number 3, Carl Johnson. He's running up that sideline, and he's able to bust all the way up the sideline.
So we do have a flag behind the play.
Taken down by number 23.
That Donovan Ray, man, they like to run him, and he is a strong runner.
He does not go down on first contact. I'm seeing like grasping of the wrist. This might be a holding call. And they're going to bring this ball back.
Coming back.
Probably 10 yards from the spot. So even though it was looks like the flag is down at after he gained about 14 yards. So still going to walk off 10 yards from there. It's probably going to be about first down and 6 or something like that. But Lakeview got away with one there. Donovan Ray, it seems like anytime he's touched this ball, he's been able to make things happen. Break tackles, be elusive.
37-yard line.
First down, I was wrong. First down and 4 now for the Lancers. Much better than them being inside the 10-yard line, but got to watch out for this Donovan Ray. Seems like they got 3 guys to the left, 3 receivers left. Here comes that sweep to the left. Here comes that handoff left. Here comes number 9, breaking coverage, getting up that outside. He could go all the way, cuts it back inside the 20, and he's down to about the 10-yard line.
There is another flag.
Is there a flag on the opposite side now?
There is.
Could it be the exact same play going the other way if this is a holding?
And it looked like there was some pretty decent perimeter blocking from the receivers out there. But now I'm wondering, did it only look good? It does. It only looked good because they were holding.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, they put 3 receivers out. They run those receivers deep. They clear out that side. They do the sweep. And we're having trouble on the edge. But, 2 holding calls. Maybe that's the reason why we're having trouble containing. So that ball's going to get walked back again. They get down to the 10-yard line, walk it back. This one was going to be around the 10 to 15, and it does look like number 9 might be down for Lance Cruz. They've had definitely a tandem back there with number 6, Donovan Ray, and number 9, Brian Shack.
Not sure how serious it was, but it looked like Kyle Gorman kind of limped off as well.
Kyle Gorman walking off for Lakeview. Shack was chased down by Terrell McCurdy. Not even sure if the officials are, one official's aware of the injury back there.
Player down on the field.
So that ball is going to be brought all the way back. We were 1st and 4. Somehow that's going to be about a 4-yard penalty. It's a spot foul from where the holding was. So 1st and 8, it looks like it's going to be back. We do have that player down, Brian Shack for Lance Cruz, and he's been a player.
Man, I did not have 2 first down holding calls past the sticks consecutively on my bingo card today.
Yeah, you don't see that. So training staff looking out at him.
All right, so let's talk about Lakeview for a second. Homecoming night, alumni back.
Saw a lot of alumni in the crowd over there.
They did the presentation, right? Football player wins homecoming king. Your son on the court today, amongst many others.
Sure thing.
You, a staple
my wife
in the hallways here.
My wife and I got to walk our son across the 50
Your
there.
brother-in-law.
My brother-in-law's
coach.
You didn't know, Coach Threed is my brother-in-law.
Your father-in-law, Grand Marshal.
Yes. And my
cool
mother-in-law, she's somewhere up in the crowd over there, Matt. She's the one with the cowbell.
What a cool family community here it is.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention my 9th grade daughter. She goes here now, and my other daughter's in our middle school in 7th grade. So we're Lakeview through and through. We love this school. We got a great staff. In fact, tonight was what we call a play for you tonight. If you can see my shirt, Matt, it says, "Tonight I play for you." Coach Street and the staff do this really cool thing where all the players on the team, they choose a teacher in the building or a staff member. It doesn't have to be a teacher, somebody that has made a difference in their life. And Coach Street makes them hand write a beautiful note why they appreciate that staff member. And then tonight on homecoming night, we are able to line up the field as the guys run out. We do the national anthem next to our player, and we fist bump, and we're there for them. They're there for us. A lot of food. They provide us with food, the PTO, and it's just kind of a big cool community thing. And you're a teacher, Matt. You were a teacher. Now you're a principal. I'm sorry you're a teacher. I screwed that up. But now you're a principal in elementary school. It's a very give relationship between teachers and staff members and students. We're not just giving an education. It's an enjoyable job, wouldn't you say?
It's the best. It is the best.
If you didn't know, this guy in my booth with me, Matt, he was a teacher here at Lakeview. How many years?
10 years.
10 years you were a teacher here. Did marvelous things. Now you're elementary school principal, and everybody loves you, and we're happy that you could join us tonight. First down and 8, Lance Cruz running that sweep to the right side. Great, good play by Ramon Maya. Was able to shed that block.
That's a great play. I wonder if he was thinking, I kind of want to fix things after that punt. I'm going to fix things.
After that punt, after they've got outside on us the last 2 times, let me get off this block. Let me throw my body into his legs, and let me get up and celebrate with my team. Loss of 3. Second down and 11.
Here's somebody we haven't seen today. Martain Logan in the backfield for Lance Cruz, number 18.
Yeah, big boy. Carl Johnson here, near side. See if they throw. Here we go. Kelsich hands it to the guy you just mentioned. No way. I know that's not. I got to be careful how I act here. That was a high tackle. I know this is not a face mask. No.
Well, as a former line coach, as a defensive line guy, I would love that play, and I'd be very proud of my team for a play like that.
I wish,
Face mask, I don't know. But they sure did stuff that hole.
I got it. Maybe I'm far from the action. I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can. That looked like a high tackle. Maybe there was some face mask. I gotta see the replay. If we had the replay, we could go check it out. Regardless of what I think, first down, Lance Cruz. Clock is at 8:20, so this is now becoming a clock. Time is an option and a factor. This ball's thrown up from Kelsich, looking for number 1, Yamarian Cole, up the right side. They're just running those fly routes and throwing it up for grabs. Carl Johnson has been up to the task. Had him stride for stride. That ball was thrown out of bounds. Never had a chance.
One thing that makes that play really tough is Cole being so close to the sideline in his pre-snap location. It doesn't give the quarterback any room to throw the ball to the back shoulder there.
Yeah. Good point. Carl Johnson filling in for Keontae Wolf. They've been picking on him a little bit, but he's held his own out there. Good job by Carl. Secondary, Jason Messenger changing his position there. Here we go with that Donovan Ray. And here he is, hit at 3 yards, but still running at 14 yards.
I guess at this point in the game, kind of expect to see that from him. He very rarely goes down after first contact.
That ball looked like it was going to be tackled at 4 yards, and all of a sudden he just keeps moving, squirts out of the pile, and picks up a first down for Lance Cruz. Lakeview needs a stop here. Cannot go down 2 scores here. Kelsich from his own 33. Brings number 2 in motion. Kelsich Hands this ball to Ray. There we go.
The clock work here by the Lancers is I mean, masterful. They are really draining the clock here at this point in the fourth quarter. Keeping the ball on the ground.
Nice to see Asaghetti make a solo tackle there. Love to make this a 3rd down and long. It's 2nd and 9. Big play here. Every play is a big play with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, down 2. Kalsic from the shotgun. Got the defensive line to jump a little bit. Didn't snap the ball. Now we get both receivers to come up a little bit. A little shift by the defense. High snap. Kalsic brings it down. A couple missed tackles. Got to wrap up there. Looked like he could have been tackled for a short gain. Got to wrap up when you tackle. I saw a guy kind of throw his shoulder at Kalsic's legs.
So there's a huge difference between Kalsic and Donovan Ray. But in that run there, they both kind of look the same in how they run.
They both broke some tackles and now brings up a 3rd down and 4. Clock is still rolling. Lakeview looking to make a big play here. Number 23 coming in motion. Kalsic back to pass. Going to throw this one up for grabs to number 1. Has his man. Carl Johnson in coverage. And it's just out of the reach of number 1. They're trying to hit that pass. Looked like a pretty good throw, but number 1 didn't really adjust to that ball real well. Didn't really give himself a chance to bring that ball in, and that brings up a huge. Were you surprised with that call? If you're a Lance Cruz fan, are you surprised with the running attack for a 3rd down?
I like the call. I think it's a good idea. If you're going to take a shot, you take a shot inside the 30, the plus 30 there, 3rd and short.
Well, as a Lakeview fan, I hope it backfires. We need a play. I'm going to stand up like my boy Dan Miller. Come on, Lakeview. Let's make a play here. The crowd is getting into it. Kalsic talking to his running back, Donovan Ray, to his left. 3 receivers right. They know how big of a play this is. 5:59 left on the clock, and the Lancers are going to call a timeout. You can feel it. You can feel how big of a play this is, Matt.
This is a big play, but it's for Lance Cruz, it's not as crucial as you might think. Their defense has been stout.
This is true.
Their defense has been very strong here, especially in the second half. And I think it helps take some pressure off of them a little bit. This play call can kind of open up a little bit. Yeah, you want to get 1st down. Yeah, you might want to take a shot at the end zone. But in reality, you know your defense has a great opportunity to come through with a stop afterwards if you don't convert.
I'm looking for Coach Kalea, Coach Street to hype up these guys. Once again, if I could say it for the 4th or 5th time, don't jump off sides. I don't know. I always like to try to get freebies, in my powder puff games and my flag football. I'm coming out. I'm going to use every second of this play clock, and I'm going to, try to get this defensive line to jump off sides and get a free 1st down. So if I'm a Lakeview coach, do not jump off sides. Wait for that ball to move, and then let's fill these holes. Let's fill these gaps and contain that edge. Looking for a David Asaghetti tackle, a Ramon Might on the outside. Need a play. Gary Winston coming up. Let's go, Lakeview. Somebody got to make a play. Number 2 in motion. They're going to hand it to him on the sweep. He's got some room off the LS side. He's going to try to stretch this thing out. This is going to be close. Ball is fumbled. The
spot here is going to be crucial.
That ball looked like even though his body seemed to be going towards the 1st down, that ball seemed to drop behind the marker. Need a spot here. This is going to be very close. This was 4th down and 5. He fumbled that ball behind the sticks. We got a turnover on downs. Husky ball. Huge play by the Huskies.
76 yards to go.
It looked like he had some room. He took that as far towards the sideline. He never really went north and south with that run. He had to get 5, got about 4 3/4. As he was being spun out, lost the ball, and it looks like where he lost it was short of the 1st down.
I got to think trying to stretch it out towards the sideline was the thing that kept him from getting the 1st down.
I'm surprised. I'm not a Lance Cruz guy, but with the way number 6 was running the ball, I can't believe that Donovan Ray didn't get that carry. Let's go Lakeview. Brandon Harris. They're trying to. Every game this year we've seen Brandon Harris break one or two, and he has been corralled by this big-time defensive line of Lance Cruz, who have really played well.
It's wild. Coming into today's game, Harris was averaging about 9 yards a carry.
Yeah, we
have not seen that today.
He might have hit 1 for 7 or so, but man, he's been fighting to get 3 or 4. That time he gained a half. Second down and basically 10. Szymanski still under center. Inside handoff on that little counter. Ooh.
Inside handoff,
Brandon Harris had a hole. He was able to pick up 5.
Brought down by number 9, Brian Shack.
Waiting for him to run through one.
I think we're starting to see if there was only one more block made.
If there was one more block, if there was one arm tackle broken. Third down and 4.5. Jimmy Szymanski, 3 backs, double tight, under 5 minutes. He's going to keep the ball roll right, looking for somebody. Found his man, Anthony Aguilera, at about 8 yards. Gets a nice little pass. That's going to pick up the first down.
Szymanski made that play in more than one way.
He looks good.
His ball fake on that kind of tucks down a little bit. It really looks like he gives the ball away. It's not just it's not just show of a fake handoff.
Good
really
footwork.
Nice.
Good footwork. Good athlete. Made a nice throw to Aguilera. Aguilera had to make a little adjustment, turn his body back to that ball. Good hands by Aguilera. Huge play. Picks up a first down. We're inside 5 minutes now. Clock is stopped as that ball went out of bounds. Szymanski, inside handoff to Harris. Juking and jiving. He's able to break a couple.
Brandon Harris, the ball carrier.
Good pursuit by the Lancers. Man, Harris changed hands with the ball there, and while he was being pursued. Good thing he held on to that ball. He fought hard for 3. They're trying to do a little misdirection now.
That's twice now that they've come to a counter look. They try to show flow one way, come back the other way. We've not seen that all game, Tony, so it's kind of interesting they bring it out here.
David Osagetti was hit on a touchdown pass last week. McKee's first touchdown pass of the year. I know we got a different quarterback, but David can fly. Brandon Harris tackled in the backfield. Uh-oh, got a flag late.
Brian Shack, and we have flags all over the field.
Osagetti getting into it with some Lancers.
I'm not sure who the flag is going to end up being on, but it really just looks like there's a lot of frustration out there. And I'm not sure who it's on.
We'll see. I can't tell you how huge this is, Matt. We're sitting here at 4 minutes and 1 second.
Well, the referee who threw the flag is very demonstrative with his hands.
And we got a post-play penalty. Personal foul on both guys.
After the play, we have personal fouls against each team.
Offsetting personal fouls, which I'm almost thankful for at this point in the game. This has been such a hard-fought game.
Honestly, it's probably the best case scenario.
Both guys were kind of shoving after the play. You want to see the guys win this game on their own athletic prowess. This brings up a 3rd down and 10 as that was a loss of a few yards. Got to make a play here. Clock is rolling. Here's a Weddle looking for Osagetti.
Flags on the play.
Halfback pass. Osagetti, I don't even know if he caught that ball. I can't tell if he caught it or not.
I also cannot tell.
He's got a lot of tape on his arms and stuff. I think he caught the ball. Regardless, guys went through his back. It's either going to be pass interference or he caught it. The ball's going to be spotted on the Lakeview.
Pass interference against the defense.
That ball's going to probably be just inside the 50-yard line. Lakeview's going to accept that penalty. So maybe he didn't bring it down. I'll have to go to our replay. I'm just kidding. We're going to hopefully get this new press box. We'll get the replay. We'll get the what else can we use up here? We could use
Slurpee machine,
heated seats.
Penalty takes the ball down.
That's good. I love this district. We're putting a lot of money into the school, into the field. And that's a huge first down.
Just quick question: is that part of the bond work?
It is.
That's
it
awesome.
is. We had some bond work. Thank you to the St. Clair Shores community. Bond work that was started, around COVID. It's finally getting, a lot of delays, but we're seeing the fruits of all that labor.
That'll be awesome to drive down 11 Mile and see that.
And here we go. We're setting ourselves up for a good finish. We got 3 minutes and 46 seconds on the clock. The clock will start on the snap. Jimmy Szymanski, 3 backs, double tight. We're just inside the 50. Fumbled snap.
Fumble on the snap. Szymanski
Hate to see that. Szymanski looks to have recovered it.
And that right there is the perfect example of a new quarterback coming in who's just not the common guy, right? The quarterback center exchange just slightly different.
It's going to be a loss of 2 on the play.
Again, as you're trying to mount your big comeback drive, a fumble there. Now you're 2nd and 12.
Probably in 4-down territory for sure. Szymanski looking to pass, trying to roll left. What a pass! Go! He could go! Brandon Harris from Jimmy Szymanski with a guy in his face. What a dime from your boy Jimmy Szymanski, number 16. Holy cow. I thought he had no shot at throwing that ball.
Hey.
He threw that ball on the run, soft touch. What a catch by Brandon Harris, redeeming himself for a drop pass earlier. And with that crack-like speed, Lakeview takes the lead 20-16. Holy cow. Jimmy Szymanski have a day. Oh, I can't wait to see him on Monday. Going for 2. 4-point lead. What a play. Check my heart monitor. Oh, Szymanski rolling right. Oh, and that one was an easy catch. I guess, that is a big play. Instead of being upset, Brandon Harris doesn't bring that one in. But he brings in the big one. 20-16. Matt, did you think he was going to be able to throw a dime like that? He was rolling. First of all, he's a right-hand quarterback rolling left. Jimmy Szymanski's a bigger guy. He's not going to take off and run. He wants to throw that ball. He knows the importance of the play. He's being chased. He twists his hips, gets it off, throws a spiral. Ball dives down. Brandon Harris in stride, end zone, breakaway speed. Did you think that was going to happen?
Yes.
Holy cow. I lost my voice there.
This is pretty fun. Less than 3 minutes to go, and we're a 4-point game. We know special teams have been pivotal today.
Yeah, you're caught up.
Wow, I'm so excited. What a fun game to be a part of. Thanks for inviting me again today.
Donovan Ray back. If I could talk to Andrew. Hey, Andrew.
That's exactly what I would say. Do not kick to that guy.
Kick right.
I would do everything I could to keep it away from him.
Drive that. I love when they kick those hard ground balls and make other guys try to make plays. We'll see. Medvedik from the 40. 4-point lead for Lakeview. He drives his ball deep and through the center. Oh, and there it is. That's what I was talking about. He has the ability to kick this ball in the end zone. So good call by Medvedik and the special team staff to kick that ball deep. Got over number 2's head, and Lance Cruz is going to have to start from their own 20. It's 20, right? Yeah, their own 20. This is not the NFL. Even though this feels like a Monday night football game with Mac White battle, Lance Cruz, Lakeview.
Homecoming night.
Lakeview on a 3-game win streak after losing to Stevenson, beating Roseville, beating Utica, beating Henry Ford, being down most of this game, struggling to move the offense. Jimmy Szymanski hits Brandon Harris for almost a 50-yard touchdown. Kelsich back out of the shotgun to Brandon Ray. Now we got Lakeview has to come up with a stop.
That's a guy that you look for, right? To come through is Azaghetti, and he did.
Donovan Ray, the ball carriers.
You kind of look at this timeout situation. Lance Cruz has had to burn 2 timeouts earlier in this half. They only have 1 timeout left. Had to burn him on this special teams play on a 4th down call. Ooh, he looked like he moved early. They're looking up for number 1. It looks like he's got number 1. Kelsich to number 1. Carl Johnson chasing.
Touchdown,
Number 1 from Kelsich. Touchdown, Yamarian Cole. They
The flag down on the play.
worked on Carl Johnson there. Nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy at all. Just told him to go downfield.
Nothing fancy. We've tried this play 6 or 7
Touchdown
times.
is good. Personal foul.
That ball was thrown on the money.
The Huskies.
Carl Johnson, horse collar tackle inside the 5-yard line. Ball got in the end zone. It's going to be a touchdown there for Lance Cruz. Looking at the scoreboard here.
Still a day on for the extra point attempt.
It's going to give the Lancers the lead. On for the extra point.
Hold is down, kick is up, and it's good.
That makes it 23-20.
2:42 left in the game. The Lancers 23, the Huskies
Lance Cruz
20.
over Lakeview. Did they give us enough time left? 2:22. This has been such a strange game.
Oh, one of the weirdest
We talked
games
about
I've
a
seen.
mirrored game. Kickoff return, kickoff return. Personal foul, personal foul.
Long pass,
Fumble,
long pass.
long pass, fumble, interception. Then you hit back-to-back long passes. Can Lakeview answer with 2:22, 3 timeouts? Let's not forget that Brandon Harris already ran 1 kickoff for a touchdown. They got Brandon Harris deep. Back to deep also is Ramon Myatt, Corian Latimer, speedster. Carl Johnson is up
Penalty
there.
will be assessed on the kickoff.
Oh, but they
So
get
the
to
Lancers
that
will be kicking off.
Oh gosh, look at where this ball is going to be kicked from.
So this is what a kickoff looks
Yeah.
like after a personal foul.
15-yard penalty on that horse collar tackle, which was accepted now on the kickoff. So instead of kicking from their own 40, they're kicking from the Lakeview 45. You wonder if Lance Cruz just going to blast this ball through the end zone,
Dylan Day's got a pretty good boot.
or if they try to like pop it up and cause chaos. Lakeview's got to be ready here. Day for the kick. He is going to drive this ball through the end zone. 80-yard field, 2:22. I typically would say, you know, Lakeview doesn't pass the ball a ton, so being in this situation is a little strange to have to open up the playbook, but
But then you stop and you realize all their success today has come through the air.
strange, yes. I was looking at the stats prior to today's game. I mean, we're talking about a 4-1 record and something like 18 completions or something like that on the year. Maybe even less. I'm way off it. Might have been even single digits, but you know, they might have
119 total passing yards
119.
coming into today.
They definitely are right about that today. Szymanski again going to pass, looking for short to David Osagetti, who runs over. Oh man, grabs a first down. That's going to stop the clock while they set the ball.
He's got some giddy up.
Flag.
Wow.
Is there a flag on the field? Flag on the field. David Osagetti was able to turn his corner there and put his shoulder down to get the extra couple yards. First down. I'm looking for the call. Is there a call?
First down and 10 Huskies. There was no flag.
No flag on the play. Jimmy Szymanski, 2:15, clock going. They're not going to hand this ball off. Here we go. Brandon Harris skipping around. Looking good, making guys miss.
Brandon Harris and another
Couple jukes.
Husky
That's going to be an
first down.
11-yard gain. That's going to stop the clock. Again, as they're here at high school, in high school football, this clock stops after first downs as they set the ball. Then they roll the clock. Szymanski runs over to Coach 3 to get his call. We're at 2 minutes, down by 3, 23-20. Szymanski going to bring this call in. Same formation, 3 backs, double tight. Huskies do have 3 timeouts. Szymanski goes back to pass. No pass protection.
Szymanski sacked.
Sacked by Number 9, Brian Shack, came through like a bullet.
Called by the Huskies.
To mount the comeback, you have to have some protection, and it broke down there. That's a tough play.
Yep, that was a tough play. It's
Sack takes the ball back to the
Lakeview is one of the few teams
33-yard line.
in all styles of football now, it seems like, that go under center 100% of the time. You know, as you watch college and professional football, you see guys out of that pistol, out of the shotgun. Definitely probably makes seeing the field as a quarterback a little bit easier. You're already naturally in that drop back position. Szymanski, especially being, you know, third string quarterback coming in. We know he can throw the ball. We know he can throw some quality passes, that he's got good control. Just got to give him some time, give him some receivers to possibly throw to. So here we are, though. It is 2nd and 18. Lakeview just used a timeout. They're down to 2 timeouts.
So I've noticed that they keep throwing to the short side of the field. It'd be interesting. Maybe it's because it would mean he'd be rolling left to use the wide side.
There's that inside handoff. A little counter action to Eric Simmons. I think that's Eric Simmons. No, that's Ramon Myatt.
Ramon Myatt, the ball
Was able to get back the
timeout on the field
lost
by the
yards
Huskies.
Plus some. Huskies are going to
Gonna
call a
bring up
timeout.
A 3rd down and 9.
We got ourselves, we got min 19, down 3. I believe we have 1 timeout left. Call 2 plays in the huddle here. Are you calling 2 plays over there? So
as a fan, that sounds like a great idea. But if you've never practiced it, and I don't know if they have or not.
Sure.
If you've never practiced it, this is not the time to try it. You have to do what is your bread and butter, and you have to do what you practice and are comfortable with.
Hey, Jimmy Szymanski has had a great day. This Lakeview team, it's homecoming night. Can they pull off an incredible comeback here in under 2 minutes? You probably haven't practiced a 2-minute drill with this quarterback connection. Szymanski with the inside handoff, has some room. Here is Ramon Myatt, shaking guys up the right side, cuts his back all the way to the right side. Gain about 20. Flag late.
It's a late
Flag
hit.
late. That could be a late
Got
hit.
him on a late hit. I never would have guessed they would go with the counter on that play right there.
And I'm telling you, Ramon Myatt is having
Pretty fun
himself
call.
a game. And
That's a pretty fun call.
how many carries did Ramon Myatt have coming into this game? He's been an essential part of the backfield. Ramon Myatt only had a few carries coming to this game, but he's had some big offensive plays.
To be honest, he's not even on my stat sheet.
I don't know if he's had a carry. I've been at every Lakeview game. I don't recall a Ramon Myatt carry prior to today.
I have no stats on him.
He's a great athlete. He plays a lot of skill positions. Huge run by Ramon for about 20 yards. Tack on 15 with the late hit. Lakeview, clock stop, 1 timeout left, 27-yard line, down 3. They are possibly in field goal territory. Lakeview's thinking, can we punch this one in? This ball's being run up the middle. Short gain, Eric Simmons, gain of 3. We are at 1 minute, and the clock is rolling. They are picking up the tempo here. Jimmy Szymanski not running over to get the calls. He's under center, 3 backs. Back to pass, Szymanski. Had his man Asaghetti open on that little out. Just outside of his reach, though. And that'll bring up another long 3rd down play. Seems like when we're in these tough situations, somehow a player makes a play. The crowd is into it. Crowd is on the edge of their seats. Good looking crowd wearing all silver and blue over there. Homecoming night.
The homecoming dance tomorrow
Homecoming dance
depends
tomorrow.
a lot on this game, right? Is it going to be a fun dance or is it going to be a somber dance?
Hey, let's make a play. Jimmy Szymanski under center. Looking for Brandon Harris. He's held up.
Brandon Harris, the ball carrier.
They went back to that counter play.
Oh my, I would not want to be a
Stop by
coach
number
here. Do you
44,
go?
Antonio Walters.
Do you
Gonna bring
kick
up
the
fourth
field
down
goal?
and 10.
Hold on. They're trying to get the kicker's attention.
Looking at about a 39-yard field goal if they go ahead and kick it here.
Oh
And
my.
a heck of a lot of glory if you make it.
Hey. I know
Looks like we're going to wind this clock down and take it go.
Lakeview has one timeout. The clock is rolling inside 10 seconds.
Wow.
I was wondering if they were going to try to call a timeout, get a first down, but
Final timeout.
Well, this is going to be some fun YouTube TV right here.
4th and 10. This ball is at the 22-yard line. You usually add 17. We're looking at a 39-yard field goal, like you said. I've seen Andrew. Andrew Medvedik.
Early in the game, I asked you his range, and you said he's money from 40. 40 in. This is
I said
39.
he can hit from 40. He
Yep.
can hit from 40. I've seen him hit from 40. This is 39. I will say, regardless, this young man, Andrew, has been out here in the winter, in the snow. I drove by. He is on this field with his brother,
And
kicking
here we
field
go.
goals in the
Andrew
snow.
Medvedik on for the game
Soccer
time field
player.
goal.
Put a lot of time and energy into this.
Regardless of if it goes in or not.
Hey,
Fun game.
fun game.
Very fun game.
And here we go. Andrew, this ball's going to be held at the 29-yard line, the 39-yard field goal.
McKee back in to hold.
Lance Cruz is going to call timeout.
Called by the
Little
Lakers.
gamesmanship,
That is their final
trying to
timeout.
ice the senior kicker. Andrew plays on the soccer team. He's been scoring goals lately. This is his. I was at a soccer game the other night. Hopefully, I called my shot on that bad snap. Here we
Call
go.
it.
I was at this
Call your shot.
soccer game the other night, and we were having a battle. And Andrew, he plays in the mid, and he had a couple goals. He also kicked about three or four shots over the goal, but through the goalpost. He was kicking field goals left and right.
Is that foreshadowing?
The other night.
Is that called foreshadowing?
That was a soccer ball. Let's go, Andrew. Let's have some fun. Homecoming night. Here we go. Andrew Medvedik. Snap is down. Snap. Hold. That ball is drilled.
Got it.
Straight through.
That is fun.
Bow and arrow. Andrew Medvedik. Flag on the play. Ding time. Roughing the kicker. Field goal is good. We're going to overtime.
Well, that was fun.
That wasn't even a question. There was no, ooh, is that going to have the distance? Is it straight through? Extra 10 yards if he wanted it.
The question was, were the fingertips going to touch it and
Oh.
block it? And they did not.
Dropped to a knee, shot the bow and arrow at the Harvest Moon.
That was
We're
fun.
going to overtime. The crowd is lively. We're going to overtime in some Mac White action between Lance Cruz and Lakeview. Oh, man. Just like that soccer ball right through.
I just told my wife, we're going to overtime. Put the girls to bed. I'll just kiss them when we get home. I'm busy.
Absolutely.
So how does overtime work in high school? Tommy?
Overtime. Both teams will get a possession. I believe it starts right at the 10-yard line. I think each team gets a possession from the 10-yard line. Starts with, I believe, a coin flip. Whoever wins that coin flip can decide if they want the ball first or second. I believe the other team can decide what side of the field they want to play at. And then both teams get a possession.
They just announced the attendance tonight. It sounds like it's a homecoming record. 3,822 people tonight.
Get out of town. And nobody's left.
Nobody has left. No. There's not a single car that has left this place
So
tonight.
there's not a ton of parking here. We're parked everywhere. We got people lining the fence all around the field. Next year, 1 year from now, we'll have this side of the field will be the home side. We're going to have seating for 3,000.
We will have a
New
coin
turf.
toss to determine who gets the ball
Just
first
think
in
about this
overtime.
game.
Oh,
2 kick returns, one for each team for a
Starting at the
touchdown.
10-yard line.
Long passes for touchdowns. Fumbles. Blocked kicks. A slew of penalties.
I love it.
It's really been a fun game to watch.
Shout out to Vic and Sherry Medvedik. I know Their older son, David, kicking in college. He was a Lakeview kicker. Younger brother, Andrew, decided to follow his older brother's footsteps. Hey, I play soccer. I see my brother. I like to kick. I want to do. He's playing soccer. Coming out here, playing a little football. Drilled it from 39. What? 39's no gimme. You said he was. You put words in my mouth. You said he was money.
40 and in, you said.
Absolutely, I called it. I'm gonna call. No, I'm not gonna call this.
You know who's happy about overtime right now? V's Barista, Barbecue Daddy, and the Lakeview Boosters concession stands.
Sell them out.
Sell them out.
Oh. Referee handling the captains at midfield. Lance Cruz makes the call. Both teams will get the ball. If I can talk to Roger Goodell again. My boy Roger, maybe you should watch a high school or college football game.
It's so much more fun.
And give both teams the ball, because then my Detroit Lions might not have lost, because you got to give Jared Goff the ball.
That is correct.
It looks like, let's see who's going to get the ball first. Looks like Lance Cruz is going to start with the ball. They're going to be working themselves to the west end zone, heading towards the high school building. Away from the fans, maybe. I wonder if they know that they're going to the side with a little less population. Mr. Selby up here in the booth promoting Barbecue Daddy. Mr. Skirta, great business. Great community, St. Clair Shores. Proud to be a part of it. You really showed out tonight for homecoming night. Hopefully we can put a stamp on this. These Lance Cruz fans were into this game. They thought they had the victory in the bag. Big fourth down stop. Big drive. Big run by Ramon Myatt. Huge kick by Andrew Medvedik.
I know you might have thought I was kidding or exaggerating that the dance is more fun after a win, but that's a fact.
You're a dancer.
I'm a dancer. I love a good homecoming dance.
I believe it. I'm going to be here tomorrow night. You can catch me if you're listening. Well, actually, it'll be late. I'll be in the freshman coat check area.
Wow.
But I know I'm going to see a lot of these guys tomorrow, and we're pulling for a victory here. So here we go. There is no time on the clock. Time is not a factor. I believe each team gets maybe a timeout. I could be wrong. I have to reread my rule book, but this ball is going to start.
Ball starts at the 15-yard line.
On the 15-yard line. Not on the 10, we're on the 15, which doesn't seem right because there's no chains out there.
David Austin Getty.
Are we supposed to have chains? I'm sorry, I should be watching the game. David Austin Getty. Are we, what is going on here?
Second down.
Ford tries to score from the, but you can't get a first down? What, are these not the rules of football? Am I missing something, Matt?
I'm Googling
I'm confused.
It
It looks like they're running the chains down, but I'm so confused. But it is second down and something. Second down and goal from the 15? Regardless, they're going to run this ball with Ray up the middle, and for the maybe first time all night, they stack up the middle. Big number 54, John Klein, 10th grader, Dom Picheri. Here we go. I got Matt looking up the rules.
Trying my best.
Third down.
Who knows? We just came up here. We want to see some good football. It's got third down on the down marker. It's got to be third and goal from the 15. They haven't gained anything yet. Here's that pass play. Make a play, knock this ball down. You know it's going up in the air. Oh, goodbye, number 2. Bring that ball back. Crowds, let's see if they hit the "you can't do that" chant. Well, maybe not, but that's what I'd be saying. This is going to be back.
I'm not going to tell you what the rule book says that I found.
Okay. I got clarification from the booth here. There was a roughing the kicker call on Andrew Medvedik's
there we go.
kick.
That makes
That's
sense.
why they started from the 15 and it was immediately first and goal from the 15.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Selby.
That makes so much sense.
That's why they pay him the big bucks. Now we got third down and goal from the 20. Carl Johnson, they've tried to go his way. They're looking his way again. They're going old school. Throw it up to number 1. Carl Johnson turns and finds the ball. Quarterback crying for a pass interference. Not going to get it. Pylon fixed by the referee. That ball never had a chance. Carl Johnson, redeem yourself. Can their kicker. Here
Looks
we
like
go.
they're running on the field goal unit here.
4th down and goal from the 20. Dylan Day, the kicker for Lance Cruz. Holder, number 10, Chris Dietz. Let's not get a penalty, Lakeview. Let's see, a lot of pressure. Crowd making some noise. This is going to be spotted at about the 27, a 37-yard field goal. In overtime, first possession. Lance Cruz, low snap. David Sagani in there again. Blocked it with his thighs. Talk about a push.
He's like a rocket. I mean, he has some serious acceleration.
He blocked that with his kneecaps.
That's wild.
These boys are making plays. Lakeview needs points to win the game. The game is still tied at 23. Lakeview can win it. 23-23. They will get the ball at the 10-yard line, heading into the west end zone.
Think they come back to that counter here?
I think they've had some fourth quarter. Myatt, I don't mind Aiden Daniels in this short. And then you got Andrew. You can't do anything stupid. You got to keep this ball off the turf.
Really no need to stray from between the tackles.
No penalties. Jimmy Szymanski hands this ball to Brandon Harris. He's through a hole. He is in. Brandon Harris. It's a walk-off. Homecoming night.
Never give
the fans walking it off.
Never give up.
Oh, Aiden Daniels hit the worm. Harris in the end zone. This game is going to end 29-23. Huskies win on homecoming night. Lance Cruz walking off, heads down. It's going to be a party at homecoming tomorrow night.
It was not pretty, but it does not need to be pretty.
Bring your dancing shoes. We're going to have some fun Saturday night at the dance. Teams meet at the 50. A literal walk-off. Last play of the game. Huskies move to 5-1. 4-0 in the MAC White. Lance Cruz drops to 2-4. 1-3 in the MAC White. What a game. What a fourth quarter. These boys are making some plays. We're going to go down to the field, see if we can get a couple interviews. Matt.
One thing that Coach Street will be saying to his team, continue to trust the process. When things get tough, continue to trust it. Continue to buy in. Continue to play hard. You're never out of the game. And there it is right there.